I really made this a pain in my ass. There. Now we're not stream. Yeah, it's because like this was a idea that we had last week, and then I was like, hey, I don't have to do any prep work because this isn't an actual stream, but no, I actually have to prep the fucking OBS and shit and like all that, and I was like, oh, I forgot all about those parts of my job.
It's still like a whole thing, weirdly.
Pain in my ass is what it is. That's why I have a large cup of Eastern European alcoholic drink, spicy juice, with me today. I was gonna call it Eastern European something, like I was gonna like change the name of it, but I was like, well, actually, yeah, it's a Blanco Eastern European instead of a White Russian. I was trying to be coy with my name, but I have a very giant White Russian. Hi. We were talking about my awesome free shit that we grabbed. Our chat frames. A Josh is eventually going to join us, but a Josh is in a meeting, so
we don't know which Josh, just a Josh.
A Josh. We're picking up a random Josh. It's not Josh Simons, because Josh Simons, I think, just moved into his new house, which is awesome, and he is very busy with that. Josh is chronically late. He gets so much shit, Nate, from the Sunday game. Because
we have a cat.
Oh, we do have a cat. Hello, kitten. Josh gets so much of a hard time because of the Sunday game. They're just like, on a scale of 1 to never here, how much do you hate us and why do you love the Monday game more? And you know, it's one of those things. It is what it is, and it's not anything against Josh. He's just very busy on Sundays, and you know, life happens. So
that's
leave
fair.
him alone, Kate. You're so mean to him. He just wants to give you his love.
Yeah, Kate. Gosh.
It is not your fault. No. So yeah, we're just hanging out today because there's no stream. We're gonna be talking world building. There's no real structure. AMA about Cyorion, I guess. Oh, look at that. I have a little map up here that is configured to be browsable to by me, but not anybody else on the thing. So I thought about showing that today, frankly. I thought about building that out, but I am saving the reveal. I was like, I can go, like, because I got all my stuff and like all my spots where like things are gonna go. It's just such a very large picture that it doesn't do well in Foundry. Like you try to load it and it goes, it's too big. Like, don't stream this thing. So I've got to break it up into chunks. I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to downscale the image, and I'm going to do various layers to where using either multi-level tokens or just some of the Bailey Wiki teleporters. I'm going to do tokens on the overhead map and let you move into the sections of the city, and then when you click into it, you'll go into that subsection of the city where all the like little markers of like where specific businesses are and like what things are and points of interest are in different places, so that way you can see the overall view and appreciate the glory of Nate's amazing Basat map.
Interesting.
But then be able to actually go down to the detail at the street level and know, because I've already got the hexes worked out in Foundry to where you can actually measure it by feet and miles. So you can be like, this is this long of a walk. If I follow this route, it's a 6-mile walk because it's a huge fucking city and it's gonna take me all day to walk through it. Yes, Kate, you may ask me anything. I may not respond to anything. We're not spoiling any campaigns here, but shoot, why not? I mean, ask me whatever you want. But Nate had a super fun day.
I did. I had some adventures in this on this fine sunny California morning where I went to the car dealership because our air conditioning doesn't work. And they were like, yeah, California. Cool. Should be done by the end of the day. And then they called us back and they were like, just kidding. It's going to be like 8 to 12 hours of work. So
oh my gosh.
You get it back maybe tomorrow. And we literally need it for tomorrow so she can go to her office. And so I had to basically walk and train the way back up there.
Oh, God.
In the 95-degree heat. So that was fun.
And that is probably just the worst, being stuck in I don't know how bad the traffic is in California highways, but I'm assuming if it's bad enough that you don't want your air conditioner on the highway, and it's that desert like dry heat, so it's probably like 95, but feels like 105.
It's that. It was great.
Yeah.
Company software didn't like an update and wasn't letting anyone
Hey,
log in for about 5 hours.
That's free PTO because you're just kind of there and you're doing your thing and not really working.
Just waiting.
Love it. Side note, looking over at our Twitch dashboard, we are only 8 followers away from hitting 50.
Are we really?
Yeah. We thought it would be super fun. Like when we decided to do the stream of the game on our own here, like we were just like, well, let's see what happens. And now here we are about to like, it tells me here, it's like, you are almost an affiliate. And it's like, well, if we do more world building days, we will be. It's going to be super duper fun. Very cool. A lot of fun.
I'm excited.
It has been a great Monday. I've had a pretty relaxing Monday so far. I went to, of all things, last week there, I had tickets to go to the Tour Championship for PGA, for the golf. Oh yeah, the FedEx Cup, because it's right across, just a couple hours away in Atlanta. And some folks were like, do you want to come watch it? We have a suite. And I was like, yes, I would like a paid day to sit and drink free drinks and eat free food and watch free golf. Sure.
That doesn't sound terrible.
It was not. And I was in the air conditioned like suite, and I had the bartender right there who, as soon as I walked in, I was like, here's a 20, just keep me happy.
Keep it coming.
And she did. Like every time I looked over, Cookie was like, you need anything else there? How's your gin and tonic doing? You good? Can I get you a beer? I'm just like,
her name was Cookie?
Yeah, her name was Cookie.
That's adorable.
She was phenomenal. I loved her. Nicest lady out there. If Cookie happens to be watching, you're awesome.
Yeah. Hi, Cookie.
She kept me super well taken care of on Friday.
Our for sure watching audience member, Cookie.
Mm-hmm. I'm just perpetually going to believe that Cookie is like hanging out. and just she had that energy that you're like, I just want you to be around. You know, you got great energy.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I literally have no structure. I've got my stuff up. So let me see if I open this up. Yes, that freezes your camera, so I need to move this over here.
Frozen.
I got some of my stuff. So my notes.
Mine being frozen.
I pulled up Foundry, so I've got this up, and you can see now you get the behind the curtains look, because most people don't see the massive amount of GM buttons on this side of Foundry.
I remember you showed us what was it, not Vakoth, the temple that we went through to go find.
I know what you're talking about. That one's the Temple of Hashmanet.
Hashmanet, thank you.
That was
too many temples.
You guys have been to a lot of temples recently.
Yeah, I remember you showing us like the kind of a little bit behind the scenes of like how that would work. And I remember scoping all the buttons you have on the side. I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah, I got some buttons. I do like all my buttons.
I just got a new button for staircases that teleport you between maps and between the same section on a map. And I'm very excited.
The Bailey Wiki's had he's had a droppable, I think, for a long time. Yeah, this GM pin, basically. He's got GM notes, and then he's got doors and stairs. And like, if you share this stair entry, it's fantastic entry because I can drop it everywhere. And let's just go pull up Hashmanet. You guys aren't going back anytime soon?
Yeah, it's true.
Please, dear Lord, tell me I compendiumed it.
Oh no.
Oh, there it is. I was like, I know I compendiumed this because it's huge. Like, this is my biggest compendium, and it's all one map.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that's viewable for us too. Like, I don't think we can view the actual map, but I'm pretty sure we can see the compendium.
Oh, that's cool. I got 22 scenes we're pulling in, so.
Oh boy.
Let's go look at Hashmanet, because this is a cool piece of world building that I had a lot of fun with. So we had a couple things that
I got baby hairs
Let's go to so we got to start with the entry grove. So, I mean, it's kind of the thing when it comes to world building. This specifically for world building was a torturous self-experiment. Like this was just like self-flagellation like the entire way. Because I knew building this, I was like, there's a very distinct possibility this group is only going to see 33% of this map. And sure enough, you guys saw 33% of this map.
Well, if we were allowed to go back and explore, we would have, but
you guys went ahead and
dragon attacked us.
You fucking like kicked over the hornet's nest and was just like, I don't know what happened, guys. This
we
is so
didn't
weird.
kick over shit. The assassins kicked over the hornet's nest, and we put the hornet's nest back together, and then the hornet tried to eat us.
And there's a fun thing about playing with DM custom creations, and that's when there's a pivotal moment that's going to happen in story. It's nice because it exists in its own little time bubble. And it doesn't activate until you get there for narrative reasons. So if you guys had been like, hey, there's a big hallway down there that's leading there, and you could have been like, you know what? Actually, guys, listen, dragon kids and elf people, we're not about going down there yet. We want to see what the rest of this place is about. So why don't you guys just stay here? And then that time bubble would have just been like, it opened up. And they would have been like, oh, sure, we'll sit here and whittle for an hour. That's totally fine. You did steal my hat. I was like, I saw your soccer mom hat. The wife just walked in. We're on stream. It's right there. It's on top of the dresser. Yeah. I was like, why did she take my Under Armour hat when her soccer mom hat was right there? Soccer mom hat. Right there. Waiting for her. Anyway.
We have a different hi mom today.
We have a different, oh yes, it's the other hi mom. It's my wife, the mom of all the other kids. Hi mom. She's like, I'm done. She's mostly mad because she doesn't have a hi mom shirt.
You're a hi mom shirt. You have the merch.
I do have the merch. So yeah, this was a fun piece of world. Now, the thing that's always important for DMs to remember, and my first bit of nugget of DM wisdom is remember you're a player in the story too. And that's always a hard thing for a lot of DMs to remember, is they're like, I have to make this massive universe and tell these amazing stories and you're a player on the stage too. That's very important, because when things like this, had this been 10 years ago when I was DMing, I very well could have just time bubbled that stuff to like let you guys explore in my creation, and you would not have known the wiser. I could have like encouraged the NPCs to push you. That's a little bit different than our group, a group of experienced role players and people who are very, very good at engaging in the narrative. So if I don't leave the story beats where they are, like we could literally have spent weeks of the stream here just fucking about.
I wouldn't have hated it, I'm gonna be honest, but that's
I wouldn't
okay.
have either. That's the best part. But yeah, shoot, let's this was a huge map and I loved it. I played with a lot of stuff on here, got to really flex Foundry skills. We did lighting, I did some sound effects. I'm not the artiste that some of us are, Nate, but I was super proud of some of these water effects and stuff that I actually got pulled in here.
Yeah,
they're hard to see in this, I figured out later, and they lagged a little bit. This one in particular, I had taken those same smoke effects that I used previously, and put them here for that extra like puff of the
like the water,
the stuff going on. Nat's here. Amazing. Nat is
Hello.
our player from Ireland, who
fun.
joins us on our Sunday game. She plays a very fun Earth Genasi rogue, of which is phenomenal because there's stuff in that game that your group has no idea about. Like the fact that there are the first ones, a group of Earth Genasi that were created in the plane where they come from, that because you can't plane or transport in Cyorion, they are stuck here.
I remember you telling me about that during spoilers.
During spoiler mine. So yeah, there's some of them that just do super, super fun things. And she's, she is an Earth Genasi, and I'm not going to reveal all of her story beats, obviously, but there are some Earth Genasi. There's been a whole thing on the Sunday game where, this air Genasi that's a descendant of an actual air genie that lives in Cyorion. is like is hanging out and is obsessed with Neon, and he called her a first one to the group, and the group's like, what the fuck's the first one? And then Neon's just like, let's keep going on and let's not talk about them. But you know, Choreo kind of spilled the beans, and that's been, yeah, Pale Ale doesn't know about it, Kate doesn't know, but that's because she came to the game a little bit later. The rest of the group knows about it. How good of notes they take, I don't know.
My group just decided what they're gonna do with their downtime. Sent me like this whole long list. I'm like, oh yay!
Oh man, big downtime activities are so much fun. So yeah, let's just quickly zip through this because this was a big one. So this was my first experience, like I was originally throwing something huge into Foundry, and I found Foundry was just like dying at the prospect. It was like having a heart attack trying to do that. Yeah, it's all JavaScript.
I have a one that I actually just finished. It is 7,500 wide and 12,800 tall.
Oh my gosh.
It's a whole
massive thing. Well, let's run through. So starting with the almost problem for you. So the group did come in from the entry and they were cruising around, and there was the water slide here, which if you had failed on that whirlpool exit, you would have been dumped into this water slide, which is a fully dark tunnel. So if you don't have dark vision, you're bouncing around the rocks and hoping for the best.
That would definitely be one of those times where I would be that annoying player. I have dark vision.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would have expected it. These are the tricks of the trade. Here is the fact that we've got this background texture that we made the big map, and you don't actually get to see any of this because if we go to our walls, we block all that out. So that helped me out. Visualizing this for myself on a flat plane of all these different rooms and how they're connected. Whereas this water slide actually traverses down, about 80 feet, this waterway, this underground river. So you're going at a downward slope. And then that kicks you out down here, which takes you to, I think, the Cavern Spring, which you may recognize because you guys went up to the Spire Overlook.
Yeah, the one that was like a 100-foot drop down. Yeah.
So this waterfall drops into the Overlook here. Yeah, and that would actually have, if you had jumped down here, that would have brought you down. Well, it would have dropped you down to this area, which, interesting area, nice big lagoon here. This had the direct rip from that sci-fi show, the Sci-Fi Channel show, just because of the extraterrestrial planets, because I loved that concept so much of the three species ecological harmony of these monkey creatures that ate the rabbits, but the rabbits were very quick unless they were infected with the fungus, and then it inhibited their fear receptors, and so they sat there and they got killed by the monkeys, but monkeys that ate those rabbits died and spread the fungus, which propagated all three species. I was just like, man, I love this like little closed ecological system, and so I stuck it here. And that's why these little red mushrooms are from those creatures, and those monkeys existed in here and outside. So it was not just this cave, but they were the monkeys that Turok almost got killed by a dragon chasing them up the tree, because young dragon is like, ooh, food, it's bigger food, and it just does not look furry like the other monkeys, but well, eat it anyways.
I don't mind non-furry food.
Exactly. So you guys would have ended up here, which I don't know, where would you have gone next? Because there would have been, let's see, we'll go with the player perspective. You could have either gone through the lagoon to the exit. So there's a cavern exit. The lake goes down, and there's a creek flowing out. Or there were some vines growing up over the cliffs on the right hand side.
Oh God. So our options are go drifting or climb rope.
It's not moving fast. So this drops out into a pretty big lagoon. It's deceptive and hard to tell because the light's really low in here, but actually this lagoon's probably a good 25 feet deep. So if you guys had fallen from the overlook, you still would have been okay. Unless you managed to land right here next to the beach, then yeah, maybe some broken ankles.
Probably go drifting because my boy is not a climber.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate for you because, if you go to the caverns here, Let's see here if I can zone transition this. I cannot. Let's see. That would take you to halls 2. Nope, that's the stone halls. But we're bouncing around a little bit. Hang tight. That's the infested caverns. No, that is not that place. It's crystal caverns. Ah, here it is. Fallen Bridge Lure. So your boy would have had to figure out how to climb again.
Damn it! My boy hates climbing.
So this was a fun little art asset trick here too. We took I took these 2 art assets here and just had them.
Oh, you made a bridge overlay of it.
Had them hidden with a bridge overlay.
Yeah.
Because basically you guys would have come into this area and essentially this is where your mapping and your visual storytelling take a different beat, because I could have made 2 or 3 layers of map for this and it would have been a huge pain, because you have this upper cliff area inside these caverns that's 60 feet up, 50 feet up or so, and then it's got a hole cut in the side of it where you guys were able to like duck under the cliff wall a little bit, but then it goes up steeply where this cavern is kind of like carved out and that water is cut a little pathway through. There's a little bit of greenery in here, but you can see very faintly like this wall marker here, which essentially is, at this point, the DM trick is using what visual elements you have, but I still play it in the very much 2D map style. So
Right.
explaining here, hey, you're in a chasm and this is the bottom of this chasm and it's very dark. And had you been 60, 70 feet up here on the actual cliff edges, sorry, 50 or 60 on the cliff edges and didn't have dark vision, you'd been like, that chasm goes forever. Someone with dark vision would have been like, there's water at the very edge of my vision. It would have worked out a little better for him. But on here you had this was a fun bit of problem solving for the group, because you had a straight drop down to water and greenery with unknown creatures. You had this cliff wall here, which was the face of the interior of this room that this creek had like carved out, so you could shimmy along the very thin path on the wall, but it required some checks. And actually, I think in my journals, yes, so I had a bunch of descriptions for all this stuff too that was already pre-built, and you had the options of climbing the cliff, crossing the bridge, and these were not imported properly for some reason. That sucks.
Interesting.
But essentially, this area, you had a skill check to cross the bridge, and then you had a strength check because you had to basically get down there, grab the remnants of the bridge, because it was all laying in the water. It was just cut on one side, and this is actually the path that the Fangs of Kirmi took. That's why they cut the bridge, because they found this entry. Hey, Monster Effects, how you doing?
Hey.
They found this entry and they cut this bridge as they crossed, and they shimmied across the other side to kind of throw you guys off the trail because your easy access would have been the bridge.
Fuckers.
Yeah. So they came in through this way, and you guys would have been trying to get the bridge fixed or figure out your own way across if you had come down here. And the other entrance to here was the Crystal Caverns, which was that secret entrance here off of the southern cave entrance.
That one I remember.
So this was where it got fun with this map and trying to split it all up, because I had this 2-dimensional playing surface and I played it very much like I would have at the actual table, where I drew the things out and I just said, okay, between these 2 areas, there's a bunch of tunnels that go down, and you travel down for about 80 feet, same distance as the waterfall, and now you're in these crystal caverns way down below.
Got it.
And this place was interesting because it had these strange crystals in here. That, now I'm going to throw more wrenches in people's brain works and stuff and be like, hey, there's guys that didn't play in our game with strange crystals. What the fuck's going on with that? But we had a ruined Bahir down here who was hanging out, and he sustained himself with these crystals, some of the creatures in the other cave. But this was actually one of the many pets of the Winthera daughter.
Oh, that's right. And you said she would have been really sad if we killed her.
She was a druid, and her whole thing is she was like, I'm just she knew that she had to protect this other entrance, and the dragons were like, sure, you can raise animals here. And so she had the Behir. And then if we had followed, where is my fallen bridge upper? There it is. So say we had made it across the fallen bridge here. There's my notes. Do they actually have descriptions? Nope. That is good to know. If you compendiumize a scene pack, it does not compendiumize your notes with it. Good to know.
Oh, that's annoying.
That's very annoying.
I don't generally use compendiums that much.
I've been doing it because another Foundry tip for new Foundry users out there. Anything stored in these tabs here, like your scenes, your characters, items, journal entries, those are stored in memory on your server or your computer that's hosting. Anything that's in a compendium has been written to disk. So it causes less load lag and less play lag the fewer things you have in these different tabs available for quick access. So that's why I started using compendiums, because when I first started, I was like, sure, I've got D&D Beyond. I've got all these things that allow me to import everything. Click import all, and I'm going to import 16,000 monsters and another 22,000 items. And Magic's like, this is taking me like 45 minutes to load. I have to log in an hour before the game.
Jesus.
So
that's crazy.
We found that out the hard way. But yeah. So assuming that Soren, the solo adventurer, would have got himself climbed up. Would he have climbed up the easier vines then, or would he have climbed up this bad busted up bridge? Because, you know, actually coming in from this side from the water, it did give you an advantage because you've actually got the bridge hanging down and you could have laddered up it.
Yeah. I'm going to go with ladder because I feel like ladder you can at least definitively hold on to rather than vines where it might like slip or snap or something like that.
Absolutely. So that would have brought you to this fun place, the Infested Caverns.
Ooh, infested. I love that. Love a good infested cavern.
Love some infestations. So she had down here, she had some spiders that had done a very effective job at capturing some people coming through.
Cool.
She had some of the caustic ants, like the giant ants that could leave caustic goop.
Didn't know about that. Cool.
She had some of them hanging out there. There's all their caustic goopiness. Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 miniature encounters in here. Lot of like rubble and landslide and stuff, and you know, a little secret cavern over here that had some of her supplies and was one of the places that if she was down there staying with them, she had, you know, slept with them a couple times, like cuddled up next to the spiders and been like, oh, warm fuzzies, we're going to sleep together, and woken up and like the bottom half of her body was wrapped in silk. So she had found herself a little place where she's like, I'm just gonna go ahead and sleep in my own little area here if I don't want to go back up today. Yes, you can have all the spiders. No, Mina, you cannot have the spiders. Mina is a bard. She does not get the spiders yet.
Careful. Tell a bard they can't have something and they will just magical secrets their way into getting it.
They will figure it the fuck out. I don't know.
It's like the whole thing.
I don't know. We magical secreted her into having her mom show up on stream last week, so that was a topic of discussion in yesterday's game, let me tell you.
That's funny.
So yeah, spend a little bit of time through the caves, making your way through, and you find your way over to this area, which was the original dungeon for Hashmanet. And also another fun tidbit. So you come through the crypts here, and there's a few more creatures hanging out in here, but you see this little zone transition here. HM Dungeon Shoot. If we go back up to the place where you actually encountered the world, had you jumped off of either of the edges here and like engaged with any of the creatures where you were supposed to be, you know, a person of peace and walking through, you would have stepped through onto this and boop, down you would have gone. And you would have been sent all the way to the shoots, because they tell their practitioners, like, if you choose aggression, then you know you have to find your way out if you want to serve. And then they're stuck into this place with all these creatures, and there's some bodies down here. There's oozes that travel through this area. There's a temple statue down here, and just all sorts of fun nastiness through this little crypt area. Yeah. But eventually that would have taken you to this exit, which was the Winthera Daughters exit out to the Dragon's Walk, which was the large entrance, like kind of sandy chasm that you made your... I don't think I ever showed you guys this map because it was really just a big walkway. If you would... The purpose of this section was to be that kind of daunting, like, oh, we made our way out of the dungeon, we showed up out here, and why is there a fucking 80-foot wide tunnel? What's the purpose of this massive chasm? Yeah, now that you guys have experienced what was down there, clearly for a dragon to be able to fly up and down, like this was all carved out. But yeah, that takes you over to the place where we faced the Fangs of Kirmi, and then back to the home on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, unfortunately those dragons were dead, Mina. Sorry. Very dead.
He killed them and tried to blame us for it.
Yes.
And we said no.
And the Fangs of Kirmi murdered a dragon and then tried to blame them. And I think it was Sarah who stood up and was just like, no, I didn't kill no dragon. Shut your mouth. And then rolled a 20 and had like
a total of
a plus 13 for dealing with dragons when it comes to diplomacy. And she was just like, schmack. No, and literally stood in front of a very angry young adult dragon and just said, no, bad dragon. It's like, you think about what you said to me. It worked out amazingly. Probably one of the coolest random pulling something out of my ass sequences I've ever done. It was so good. It was a pivotal moment of this campaign. It was just so phenomenal. But yeah, so this would have taken you back to clearly the Winthera residence. Hey, look, there's all you guys hanging out.
It's us.
Yeah, I am bad about leaving my actors hanging around. So
I do that too.
Yeah. There's Lindis and the Winthera workshop that was marginally explored. The tanks obviously we found with the snakes and the terrariums for the food for the snakes, and then some stuff over here. This was a unused workshop that was actually Dad's old workshop that they just hadn't used since he passed away. And then yeah, we know all about our tunnels up here. What you guys did not get to experience, which was super fun, was this hall. So this hall has some very specific stuff along the way for very specific reasons, and I fucking loved it so much and I was so sad that you guys didn't get to make it here. This is a hall of illusions, and it was a hall of temptation. So we had the test of peace, and we had the test of bravery, and then this was the test of greed, essentially. And all of these rooms were enchanted with divination and illusion and magic. And as you walk down the hall, the purpose was, I almost said the porpoise. The purpose was that you would have walked down this hall, and it would have, as you pass through the door, the magic would have checked on each of the disciples. So these oh my gosh, what is the name of my custom species? I'm totally blanking here.
The wyvern people.
Yeah, I literally have
Akuros.
Akuros. Yep, thank you. I've got it in my world lore here somewhere.
Lore keeper.
Lore keeper Nate. He knows so many things now. So this whole temple area was designed to tempt them with temptation. With what they most like, their heart's deepest desire, something that they just have to have and have to know. So naturally, as we came down, it would have scanned each of you, and we would have had first the cozy living room and study of Soren and his wife and family, and it would have been a depiction of your home. So you would have walked by and you would have seen your living room with the books, the coffee tables, the lounge, like next to the fireplace where you would read. And if you stepped foot in, whoop, right down the chute you go.
Interesting.
We have a little bit further. We have another depiction of Baba Yaga's hut. and obviously for Botrin.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit further down. Oh wait, hold on. Who was this one? Because this was one of. This was no, maybe this was just a generic temptation. It was like a warm, inviting fire. I'm trying to recall who that may have been. Let me look. Hold on. I know who that one is. I know who that one is. I know who that one is. There were 6 players.
Bunch of money.
There's a bunch of money. Yep. I mean, they were just like at the end of it, they were like, "Well, if we can't get you this way, we're gonna get you with the money." Oh, this was back.
Someone has a torture chamber.
This was back when Diggin was still with us, was it not?
Yeah.
So I think.
Who was supposed to be tempted with the torture chamber?
So I think this may have been Diggin. This may have been one of the halfling homes. I can't recall. Or it was a. Oh no, it was a study back at the Kizarexis Luminary Academy. So that was what was bringing Diggin back there. Baba Yaga's hut. This was the sewers below Busat, and what would have shown up here would have been your mother's echoing voice calling you from down the chamber, down here. So it would have been like, oh happy time, something I want, and then you would have been like, hey, my mom's alive down this tunnel, and it's like horrible flashbacks, which was what the second one was.
I would not have fallen for that.
Second one down here was, hey, Doran, would you like to enter the chamber where you were experimented on and get some fucking answers? That was that one. Then we had Tarak's home. So this was a one of the orc dark elf huts that had a whole bunch of like flowers from Eterna growing, where his father had started to like cultivate a few of the seeds he had with him. Just answers and stuff and questions. And then of course, if all else fails, just throw some fucking money at him.
Here's more money than you could possibly spend.
And then this one here would have been a scene of
a beach?
A couple unknown parents handing off their child because this was the disguised memory that we've now discovered is false for Maximiel.
Oh, interesting.
This would have been her like gaining some knowledge of her parents, but it wasn't real, we find out later. And then we would have ended up finally let's see, I don't think it's Mountain Temple. Nope, that's the entrance. The altar. So this was a very fun experiment to get working right. So I'm gonna throw you the situation and see if you could have figured it out. So you'd have entered this chamber with 6 statues of Akuros warriors. Same statues you've seen so far. And then a glowing path in the middle leading to a cave that had the same nothingness, that empty texture beyond it, just space, void. And then you would have had an altar in the middle of the room. So what would you have done in this situation, you think?
So there's a blue magical pathway that's leading towards the cave?
Yep, and it connects to this big altar. And
Is it moving?
It does glow and sparkles. And we'll take guesses from the chat too, because we're looking back at some old dungeons and talking world building and like puzzle building and stuff right now. So if you got ideas of what you would have done here, throw it in chat. We'll see what we think.
Do the statues move?
They do not. They're all facing the center of this platform. It's kind of in the middle.
Is there any writing anywhere in this room? On statues, on the platform, on the walls?
There's not.
Okay. First option, detect magic.
Boom! That would have done it. So what we were doing here
that was it. Oh my god.
I was playing with some very interesting things in this one. And if you can see, we have our tags right here for detects. So the first thing,
it's covered by my face.
First thing you would have seen, let me see if I can do this here. I'm going to try to do this with your character and see if this is still actually working, because it was working the day we streamed it, because I came in and tested it like 30 minutes before to make sure it was still working. So I need to pull Soren in. And then on Soren, I need to cast Detect Magic. And I will not consume your spell slot.
Thanks.
Boom. As you cast Detect Magic,
Ooh,
it puts
magic.
symbols up on all the statues.
Those being magic school
Magic
symbols.
school symbols. Yep.
What do we got? Necromancy, conjuration, abjuration, illusion.
So
Evocation, or is that Scorpio?
it might be Scorpio. But anyway, as you go to the center of the room and stand on that statue and like start to look at this, a spiritual version of one of the warriors starts to walk up, and they move 10 feet per round with 20 feet between them. So it starts to approach you on the platform as you're standing there, and then when your Detect Magic on, this one would have popped out, and it should have had, it's not detecting it right now, but it has Abjuration on it. So there is definite illusion magic, but then there is a floating Abjuration symbol that appears before it.
And so what, we like direct it to the ones that it's supposed to go to?
I don't know. So it walks towards you at 10 feet per round. What would you have done? It's just very slowly like floating towards you.
Probably cast some sort of abjuration magic on it.
So it would have moved 10 feet closer then at that point. Now it's one round away from getting to you.
Oh no, I mean like once it gets to me.
Okay, yeah.
Like wait until it gets to the platform, cast like, I don't know what abjuration magic I have other than like shield, but...
So as it came close to you and you'd be like, oh, I cast abjuration magic on it, it would have walked into you and dealt, I think it was like 2 or 3d12 psychic damage.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's so much. Why?
I can't remember what level it was at. I think it was a not a deadly setback, but a major setback. So it was a decent amount of damage. It could have been 2d10 at that level. So yeah, first person who just stood there and let it walk into him would have been smacked with damage.
What does it do after it smacks into you?
It turns around and prepares to walk back through you.
If I step off the platform, does it follow me?
Yep. So you step off and it actually
lead it
chases
to
you.
the one.
Oh, there it goes. Now it popped up its symbol. All right. So you would lead it through, and then it would enter the statue.
Yeah,
and
have
disappear.
it smack into that instead.
And the plan would have been these would be coming out every 10 feet after each other. And so someone would have to essentially step onto the platform. That's why there were 6 staffs, 6 of everything, because they were always 6 disciples that came in.
Conveniently 6 of us.
Conveniently 6 of you, yes. Basically, you would have had to, the plan for this whole trap was every 10 feet, another one would come up, and then whoever was closest to the platform, it would have locked onto that person, and you'd have had to lead it to the proper statue. And as soon as you let it through a statue, it would connect with it. And then you could have, if there was less than 6 of you, gone back up and picked up another one.
Interesting.
Yeah. Just a fun little puzzle. And then that would have opened up the back of the altar, which had just a little pathway out. And then where did this take you? Oh, it took you out to the dragon's path. It took you out actually to an upper level entrance into their horde area, where they would have basically, the whole purpose of this was they would have walked the path with the offering, come here, perform the ritual, and then the offering would be considered cleansed, and then they could take it through, give it to the dragons that were on the other side. And who does not love a torture chamber? And I saw a question earlier, how many siblings does she have? Okay. I can tell.
Don't worry about it.
So, that's fine. Maximiel has actually spent plenty of time in that area and knows that family, and I'm pretty sure the Castile family has 4 children.
Okay, I was gonna say 3.
They have 3 living. There's one older son who passed away, and yeah,
interesting.
So they have 4 total children, but they have.
Did he though? Did we get a?
He
did
is
we
dead.
Confirm a
He
body?
died a long time ago in like fighting off people like bandits in the desert.
Convenient. All right. Sure.
Listen. Not everybody that dies is coming back to haunt you. Just most
I
of
don't
them.
know. I have no reason to believe that.
I would not either. It's a terrible, terrible thing.
Everyone is coming back to haunt me as far as I'm concerned.
Just wait till I kill your wife.
Yeah, I will come and find you.
Soren becomes a vengeance paladin against the dungeon master. Is that possible? Yes. Valdez says yes, it is.
Valdez says yes, it is.
Valdez has a GM patron for the war.
Yeah, if I can have the GM patron, I can make a sworn oath against the GM too.
No, we don't do dead wife tropes. That's terrible.
I remember that was like the one thing that I wanted to make sure for my character, where I was like, I don't want them to just be like cannon fodder for like emotional torture. Like, that's not fun.
Well, it's never emotional. Like, there's your DM tip number 2 for the day, straight from Nate's mouth. It's, if you are playing with people who provide you emotional connections, do what makes sense for those characters. Build a character-driven story. Don't just and then something happens. No, always have a but therefore reason. You know, people do this, therefore this happens, but these guys do this, therefore this happens. Like, always drive that. And that was the whole reasoning that your daughter, Sarai, immediately latched on to More Fellows Traveling Goods. Where she's like, hey, the city's kind of crazy. I want to kind of get out there and scratch that itch too. She's got the same itch as her dad, but she's in school. And it's like, I got an opportunity to go study a living mimic that's not going to try to eat my face. Of course I fucking want to do this. I'm in school for that. Of course I want to.
Sounds rad.
That sounds so fucking... And she's a young kid. That sounds super fucking cool. Who doesn't want to take a year abroad to study mimics? I do. Hey, listen. Dead village tropes that are handed to me, I can't do shit about that. If your backstory is, these tragedies happened, so I'm a tragic... Yes, that's exactly what fucking happens. Yeah. To Lord Psycho, who, by the way, I don't know if I've pointed this out, Lord Psycho in Twitch is the person who created Zero, who you guys have been
fun
interacting with. He plays in the original live game of Cyorion, and he plays a ranger named Yendor, who's just a great character and has some really fun stuff, but he also played in a one-shot for us last year and made Zero for that.
Wait, was Yendor the one that we met in the woods that one time? No.
That was one of the 4 characters for the Burrows saga.
Right. Huh. Back in my notes for her. Oh no.
I'm looking back to see how delayed exactly is Josh going to be.
Yeah, Josh.
Is he meeting with the Cycle the Frontier, the video game? I have a meeting, the video game.
Is he playing video games right now?
I have no idea. I would. Oh. I used to a long time ago be that guy that was like, my friends don't like me because they're doing other things, and I would like obsess when my depression was really bad, obsess over like what people were doing, and think that was a slight against me. And you know, it took me sadly until my mid-20s to realize, you know, people just have lives, and I don't have to be a part of every living fucking waking second. So I very much do not like, if my friend is online and playing, I'll be like, yo, let's play a game. But if he's playing in a Discord server and he's offline on Steam, I'm like, he probably just wants to hang out with his friend. I'm not going to be in there like kicking his door down. Like, why aren't you hanging out with me? Why don't you love me?
Where are you?
The why don't you love me comments are reserved for our Sunday game. Josh doesn't love them.
Oh.
Let's see, chat. I'm still worried about the NPC list I gave you. Absolutely. Nothing to be strictly concerned about. However, it's actually really good tie-in stuff, because when you're running a big world like this, the objective of putting multiple campaigns in this world is never to just like stretch myself thin. It's to give myself more ways to make the world feel alive. And you do that by connecting worlds together and like bringing those stories together. So like a very, very fun thing that's not really spoilery, but will happen whenever the party eventually makes it to Busat, is there's a guild of scryers and scribes that work throughout Cyorion that are majorly marked in the central cities, but they all report back to Busat. So they have some town criers and stuff that work in other areas, but these scryers and scribes really put out a Magic Mouth newspaper pamphlet that spouts the news around the world. And it's all centralized out of Busat because of the fact that there's representatives from multiple governments living and working in Busat as this like kind of global thing. So it's a great way to, bring the campaigns together. But when you guys first get to Busat, you're going to hear news about DAM, and you're going to hear news about Shades of Blue. DAM stands for, it's DAO, or DIAMN. Danger is all our middle names. That's the name that's the name of the party that plays in the live campaign is DAM.
Danger is all our middle names.
Yep, and it's shortened to DAM. I forget the meme that started that, but I think it was Yendor that was like that too. Is like, there was like, but you guys are going to be going into danger if you're adventuring, and he's like, danger is all our middle names. He's like, what should I name your party? He's like, that's it. Danger is all our middle names. Whenever a new player character joins up, it's like, what's your middle name? Because now it's Danger. It's so bad, but I love it.
That's
so much.
Cute. My Sunday night group, on a whim, like the beginning of their adventure, they met at like a cafe and were kind of just like, it was right next to this little notice board, and so they named themselves the Breakfast Club.
Oh my god.
And now like they're all just reluctant about it except for one of them who's like, yeah, we're the Breakfast Club, and everyone else just cringes and they're like, oh god, no.
Oh my god, the Breakfast Club's pretty phenomenal. That's a great name.
I love it.
Oh, that was Oxy. Oh, unfortunate. Which, if you want, my god,
yeah,
if you want a 2-year storytelling seed, side note, fuck you, COVID and the pandemic, because we can talk about like story building and how I do my my campaign arcs in a minute here. This is a great segue into that. But I do villain fronts a lot, which is just like objectives of the baddies. And that helps me pace the game because I know when these objectives are fulfilled, the party should be about this point in their progression because they're going to start facing these objectives. The initial arc, which lasts for me typically 3rd to 8th level, is my first arc, the local hero arc. That just wrapped for DAM. And it took us 3 real life years to get there because of the pandemic.
That's right. And you said it took like 2 months.
Oh,
it was the 2 months in game or whatever.
It's like a month and a half of in game time, like 4.5 weeks of Cyorion time. Which, if you've never seen the calendar, here it is for you guys on stream. This is the one for in game for Midnight Parliament that's got a whole bunch of like notes about what's happened and so forth, and you can see all the stuff we've gone through. This game has in world with session zeros. The first session 0 was back on Sahayi 53, and we are now 1 week away from being 2 months through. Yeah,
we're almost there, kids.
That's been super confusing for the excuse me, for the crowd of Dangers all our middle names, because they're just like, okay, I know that my character knows this because it happened yesterday, but it's been 9-10 weeks for me, so can you please refresh me? Like, really good like recall and notes in that group. That's but funny. That takes me back to Oxy. The longest plot delivery that I've waited on and sat here and thought about for 2 years straight was fucking Oxy Punches Babies.
Oh, that's right. Whatever that like.
So there's a shirt
meme is
on the store Like we have a little store for our friends that's got a t-shirt up that says Oxy punches babies. Because, and side note, this was a fairly young couple, just the two of them. They had bought their first house when we started playing D&D together. They have since had a baby together and like fucking gone on and moved on from D&D because the pandemic got them like out of the game, unfortunately. And they're just like we love him so much. But I did reach out and tell him, I was like, hey, this finally happened and we love you so much and hope you're just having a wonderful time, like living your best life. So this character Oxy was a fighter, and he was hilariously bardic in his delivery. From like the first day I went to his house, the first day I like met this guy after talking to him on Facebook, like putting up this call out for this game in my neighborhood. His wife's like, I'm really excited to play. I've never played. It always seems super fun. She's like, I want to play a sorceress. This is kind of my ideas. And I was like, cool, I've got some lore. She was playing a high elf, so she helped drive that xenophobe high elf narration that's going on. Yeah. So she's like, I want to get out and like help reintroduce these people to the world. I was like, that's really cool. And then,
okay, got it from that angle. Cool.
Yeah, and then we get to Oxy, and he gets in there, and he is just like the fucking super cringy cavalier announcing himself to everybody in the room as he's walking in. And he's doing it from the perspective of like, I want to be annoying doing this, but I'm really just like a loving fighter with a heart of gold. And I was like, dude, I'm fucking here for it. And he was just always getting himself into the dumbest situations. And like, we're going through this terrible underground dungeon area that's like a decrepit old military hideaway that's since been like overgrown and taken over by monsters and kobolds. And there is a prison that these kobolds had erected to like keep villagers that they were giving to a wyvern for sacrifices. And there was a chute that they were sending the bodies down into this old mine shaft. And it was literally, I described it as a chute filled with viscera and gore of the bodies of prisoners that were thrown down it. And you could see the stale blood that has since rotted and turned various shades of brown and green. He's like, cool, Oxy jumps into the gore chute. And this is like, this is the exact same thing that fucking happened with Hashmanet. Is like, I designed a big dungeon. He got through 30% of it. It was like, shortcut, boop.
I know a shortcut when I see one. Hop.
So for the uninitiated and those on stream, when pandemic hit and our group was not able to play live anymore, and so we decided to play Jackbox party games for a couple nights just to keep the group happy and together and like enjoying each other's company online while everybody was social distancing. And like very early pandemic, and we played T Fury from Jackbox Games, and one of the winning designs was I drew a t-shirt of a baby's face with a boxing glove, and I wrote on it, Oxy punches babies. As usually you're supposed to just do art, and I was like, fuck it, Oxy punches babies. I want to get my message out there with my slogan. And then Yendor's wife, I should say, you know, what is it? Lord Psycho's wife, who played a rogue in our campaign, she comes in with the slogan, and she's like, cool, I want to make a slogan that's fucks aren't free. And so the winning shirt combination was somebody got Oxy punches babies and slapped fucks aren't free on there, and fucks aren't free became the group slogan. I think they wrote it in Latin on the back of their ship that they have now.
Oh my god.
And then this Lahiria, Lahiria is the name of the rogue who wrote fucks aren't free, and the joke was that Oxy punches babies and fucks aren't free. And so that day, fucking a month into the pandemic, I was like, I need to get canon for Oxy to punch babies. And it took until like a session or two. It took 2 sessions ago. Oxy had left, like he and his wife left the game, so their characters left the party. Oxy had like gone into this really trippy state with a god and was like this prophet god that he was dealing with, and his mind was corrupted, so she was taking him back to get help. That's when she separated from the party. And so she comes back and is like talking about his rehabilitation, how he's like trying to get his mind back, and she describes this time where they stopped at a halfling village. And my goal was, for this plan, was there's a halfling village near where they were at that has a yearly festival that the entire town comes out for a pillow fight.
Oh god.
So The entire town is out for this pillow fight, and Oxy is finally starting to feel like himself again. Gets some pillows, and he's giggling with the kids, and he's hitting pillows, and he's having a great time. And the plan was, if he was still playing, to put him out there and pillow fight long enough for Oxy to roll a natural 1. Because this guy was notorious for rolling natural 1s.
Okay.
And I was just going to put him in the pillow fight, but now that I had NPC narrative options, I was just like, yeah, he pillow fought with these people, and then he swung at a kid, hit a wet puddle of mud, and ended up falling into this woman fist first, and she was holding a baby. And Oxy fucking punched this child in his mother's arms. And yeah, when I finally got to fucking deliver that 2.5 years later, it was magical.
That's funny.
Okay. Oh man, it was great. But Oxy did punch a baby in a pillow fight. It was the best thing ever. A fighter clad in scale mail punching a fucking 6-month-old
infant.
This infant. It was
cool and normal.
Cool and normal. The day it happened, I wrote him a message on Facebook. Like, we're Facebook friends just because, you know, I keep an eye on people there, and I barely use it, but I log back in just to be like, yo, this finally fucking happened, dude. And the shirts are on the website. Let me know if you want one. It's like, I will send you a shirt.
That's great.
I really wanted to send him a onesie for his baby. And it just says Oxy punches babies.
Just a onesie. Oxy punched me.
Oh my god. Who the fuck is Oxy? Well, let me tell you about this weird D&D thing pre-pandemic.
You know about D&D? All right, sit down.
Sit down. This is gonna take a fucking minute. Yeah. So
that's great.
Good segue, I guess, to talk about world building and villain fronts. So Nate, you DM. Do you have bad guy objectives? Do you have milestones that you want people to hit, or do you just kind of go with the flow? How's the Nate process?
The way I run things, I'm an insane person with too much time. So what I do is I essentially have a timeline of events that will happen in this campaign that I'm running. And most of them are villain, like, objective checkpoints. Like, for example, many moons ago, my party met with the goddess of the moon and were given, quite literally, her heart. It was this giant opalescent stone. And she basically told them, this is no longer safe with me. Keep it with you and defend it with your lives. And they were like, okay. And then they showed it to, like, everybody. Right. And I was keeping track of it. I got to, let me see. It was either 5 or 6. It was 6. Okay. So they showed it to 6, like, non-allies was essentially the criteria. Allies of certain quality were like, yeah, fine, show it to them, whatever. But they showed it to 6 people who were, like, just random strangers. And at that point, the enemy, who was actively looking for this thing, would get wind of them having it.
Oh, jeez.
And they would know how to find them.
Hold on one second. I'm assuming Monster Effects plays in this game?
Yes,
okay.
She does.
So, Monster Effects, you're telling me that this giant opal god heart did not come with an instruction manual?
It did not.
Fucking gods. Never giving you the instructions to go with it. How much assholes.
Yeah. But yeah, so eventually the idea was that if they were able to hold on to this thing long enough and figure out how it works, it would, lead down certain pathways. But it went the other direction of the enemy finding out where they were, that they had it, and intercepting them by dropping a moon on them while they were traveling between one city to another. It was great.
They threw the fucking moon at him. Okay.
They threw the actual moon at them to then pick up this object from the rubble.
Some serious Majora's Mask vibes there.
It was fun. I made a whole map for it. Anyway. But yeah, so that was one of those things of like, this is a possibility that can happen if certain criteria are met. Alternatively, the enemies, now that they have this thing, have like a set list of things that they are going to go do. And I have like a whole calendar for it that I use, the same calendar that we use in Cyorion, where it's like, on whatever day they will achieve this checkpoint. They will have done, this thing.
I have some events like that, but I'm too paranoid to put them into the in-game calendar, so I leave them on my notes.
Yeah, there are definitely some of those too where I'm like, I can't trust myself to not fuck that up in putting it in.
What's oh my god. Very quick aside, I'm sorry because I'm a very tangential person, but yesterday, as I'm pre-populating boss fights for this group, walking in to face 2 mind flayers and a mind witness and an elder brain in the same room who is actively trying to close a portal. Like,
Jesus.
I'm setting up the combats and I'm sitting there rolling, like the health is auto rolling out, and Josh is like, Ben, you're not on private GM rolls. And I was like, as they're like having this NPC, like this discussion moment planning, and they're like, we gotta go do this. There's some weird stuff there. We don't know what's there. And it's like, hey, by the way, 2 mind flayers, mind witness, elder brain. They're all totally there. Sorry. So yes.
With exactly this much health.
Yeah. King of
That's
fucking
funny.
it up in Foundry.
That's really funny.
So anyways, a moon was yeeted at, yote at some people.
I yoted an entire moon at them via this one really cool homebrew compendium spell that I love, that now one of my druids has, that I'm sure will be
hurt.
Glorious vindication when he gets to use it.
Good lord. Wait, how many moons in your world?
So that's the thing. It materializes a moon. It's not the actual moon.
That's fucking horrifying from an NPC perspective. Oh my god.
It's essentially a meteor swarm, but like way more concentrated. It's an absolute nightmare. It's
You're
so
like
much fun.
fucking 10 miles out, just chilling at home with your family eating dinner, and they're like, wow, the moon's really bright tonight. Good lord. And then you watch it descend to the planet. You're just like, well, kids, love ya. Holy shit.
It is a nasty aspect. It's 8th level, so it's like, of course it's gonna be. But yeah, so now that they have this heart of a god, they are essentially...
No, you may not have that spell. Sorry, continue.
It's from all the lights in the stars. Go look it up.
Shut up. Nope. Ignore that. Ignore those things.
But yeah, so now they're basically on this kind of like checkpoint quest line of, at X day they will have achieved this thing and we'll move from there. And it's fun. But
It's
nobles,
yeah.
drop
got
the moon on the nobles, do it.
He's got some very, very mean thing. It's amazing. All these player characters have come together, and now 2 or 3 of them hate the same group of nobles. The difficulties
Nobles are very hateable.
The difficulties of having an entire like campaign idea set out in like some minor plot points, and then losing, 60% of your team to COVID restrictions and stuff. So you're just like, oh, we need to cut some people like tied back in together here.
Yeah. Speaking of nothing, when are we doing our little new hotness thing?
I can't tell you.
All right.
It divulges too much.
All right.
I can tell you that we'll go through it. It's a fun thing. We'll talk about why you guys have that.
Okay.
And you can probably figure out in your head like when those things are going to happen. Oh my God.
assumption is once we get back to Busat.
That's the fun part, is not right when you get back to Busan. So
Okay.
it's good. You don't have to worry about that. There's plenty of other political intrigue. I want to this is such a good role play heavy group. I want to put you guys into some interesting political intrigue and some mystery going on there that's not directly correlated to how good you punch things to make it all better.
Cool.
But eventually ends in some punching of things, because who doesn't like to watch, Tarak and Doran walk out there and fucking smack some bitches. Okay, listen, no, you're not gonna get the throw the moon at the spell moon spell people either. Nah, jeez, all these people want to throw moons at bitches. I'm like, I got plans for my moons. You can't be taking my moons.
It's such a powerful. It doesn't mess with your moons. Your moon stays exactly where it is. It just creates a
pretend,
new one.
pretend that it messes with my moons, so they don't want it anymore, please.
Oh, let them have it. It's fun.
Oh my god.
It's an 8th level spell.
It is. It's gonna take our 9th level rogue a long time to get to 8th level spells, I think.
I don't think they can.
Listen, well, you don't have okay, so this is the problem for Nat there. She plays the rogue primarily. She plays an assassin rogue that's a ranger that is a bow using assassin rogue, which is just fucking devastating.
Yes, it is.
I mean, opened combat on the last mini guy for like 70 points of damage at level 9 and like instantly bloodies him. I'm like, that checks out.
Yeah.
You're not a one-hit wonder. You still have your sneak attacks. It's just that your major feature is that, hey, if you have surprise and you hit, it's automatically a crit and fuck that dude's life because he is done.
I would say, Nat, if you want to kind of diversify a little bit, Warlock dips are great for rogues.
Yep, you can pick up
your
Warlock
charisma
dips.
is okay.
If your charisma's decent, you can pick up a Warlock level dip and have some fun, and you'll get the because it's packed magic. Does Eldritch Blast work with sneak attack, or is it not only spell attacks? Yeah,
sneak attack is only for melee and ranged weapon attacks if they have the light or finesse property.
Well, that is. I need to go look at Valda's because Valda's does have new Eldritch Blast replacements. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, there was like a robot arm or something like that. I was looking at that for a while. I was like, this is really interesting.
Yeah, there's a legacy. There's the symbiont.
That one I really like because it is just straight up become Alex Mercer.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's just like, I can have blade arms.
But the important thing with that is then you have claws that instead of doing that, they do they use your charisma mod instead of strength. They deal slashing damage and are magic. If you gain the Pact of the Blade feature, your claws count as packed weapons. So that's a melee attack.
This is true. I mean, you could go into Hexblade if you wanted to like actually go a few levels in and kind of switch from. Well, no, because you can if you do improved pack weapon, you can make a bow as your packed weapon.
I am.
Yeah.
You can if you want more options. I can make it work, Nat. I can make it happen.
Rogue.
You just have to.
Rogue has
you just
a
have to
lot of synergy with spellcasting.
You got to express that interest to me. So, so we can talk offline, definitely. But if you've got an interest in becoming a sneak attack warlock person, you kind of have to sign a pact with something, and that could have interesting connotations for you. We'll explore that. Which side note, fucking Botran's now a warlock.
Dude,
amazing.
We were talking about that at the convention. And
did you guys all get to hang out? By the way, did you get to hang out with David and Zach?
A little bit.
Good.
David was
so
very
glad.
busy from what I could tell at his table, which is like fine, totally, of course. So it was a lot of Zach and me kind of just walking around hanging out.
I mean, Zordon at Power Morphicon is kind of a busy dude.
Yeah. I did buy one of his books, though. It's really interesting so far. But I need to talk to him because I need to know what the main character's voice is because I'm just reading it in David's voice, and it's fucking me up. I'm just like, I'm reading this because I know what his voice is, and it's him.
Is it the Botran voice, though? Because that makes it even scarier.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, God.
Like a little bit.
Yeah, it's like weird, and yeah, it's like this.
And I'm like, that is clearly not what this character is supposed to be, but I can't separate myself from it.
Oh God, I love it. I love it so much. Well, oh,
I'm ruined.
no,
Yeah, it was fun. I got to
don't
hang
send
out
me
with
your
folks.
horrifying spell to give to people. No.
Oh, hey, no, I'm not saying give it to people. I'm just saying that's the spell. It's red.
Oh my God. Hold on, let me look at the damage component on this.
It's bonkers.
Oh, fucking good Lord.
Yeah, it is.
Pinned
bonkers.
by the moon once it hits the ground. 12d12 bludgeoning. Oh my God. Ugh. It's so if you're some poor
so
falling
66
thing
if
like
it-
in the air, it's gonna smack you for 66 and you're grappled as the moon pushes you to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mel saying the fact that we survived was a miracle. Yes.
oh my gosh, that is horrifying.
Objectively, yes. I genuinely thought it would drop most of you to 0. I was fine with that.
Good Lord.
Because I'm a bad man.
Oh. So let's see. Yeah, we were talking about villain fronts and like how we design that stuff. Yeah, and so I asked you really to let's be clear. We don't seek to TPK anybody. We give you the opportunity to bring yourself to a TPK situation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, never.
It is almost always the first choice.
Yes. For some reason, I could present to you guys, like, I presented to you guys a pool of what we later dubbed liquid death, and somebody's first thought was like, I'm going to teleport over that right next to it, see what happens. And I was like, bruh.
I still love that moment. That was so great.
Like, the pregame chatter was amazing, because I'm like, dude, he's going to do this today. He's like, they've been talking about this. They know there's a huge fight coming up. They're like trying to figure out their way to maximize it. And I will definitely completely reveal that monster today, because he was a lot of fun to build. But yeah, that was a moment where he's just like, you committed to an action, dude. And like, he's like, I'm doing this. I'm going to fall on him. I'm like, cool. He's literally standing on the edge of the pool, and 5 of his spaces beside him are liquid death. So,
and he's like, I like those odds.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do a lot of the same stuff that you do. I don't keep to dates as much, because I like to play it off of what the players are doing in terms of like, could something they do have caused negative effects for that. But I adopted the name Villain Fronts from Sly Flourish's Lazy Dungeon Masters. Because I like the idea of them operating like weather fronts or fronts of a military advance. Like, these are our objectives to complete. So instead of like defining specifically for me when they're going to happen, I just obscurely define, and we can definitely talk about some of the specifics now because you guys have encountered them. You know, the Fangs of Kirmi had an objective to kill a dissenting bronze dragon, and to kill Simiposi. Yeah, he was bronze. No, he was gold. He was gold. To kill a dissenting dragon, an elder dragon too, at that, who was dissenting from the norm in Udaland. The Fangdai Nash's campaign, which is where Dam plays. They are dealing with the cult of the Fangdai, who had a front of, we want to assault, or we want to exterminate the remainder of the elves. So a lot of those miniature fronts for them was, we blame the elves and the orcs for what happened with Burraz. We believe that the elves have caused the destruction and, you know, the war and plagues of the world by their choices. They should have just exterminated the orcs instead of allowing them to live with phenomancy. And so, yeah, they blamed elves for a lot of shit. So they were just like, cool. They were my racist rednecks of a certain political persuasion that I was so angry at a few years ago that I was just like, you know what? We're gonna put them in a game because I want to hate on them a little bit.
Yeah, we had one character like that in our game. I named him Thomas. I don't know why, but
sounds like a very face punchable name.
Yeah, he was a very, very punchable character, and they swore a blood oath upon this man to return one day and just ruin his absolute shit, and they still have not. But I'm waiting for that day. He was a racist dude who was like riling the town up against this like innocent little drow lady who was like a hunter, and he was like, all the weird stuff's happening because it's your fault, and
it's all your fault. Yeah.
Yeah, we put racists in our game so that you can then punch them, and it's kosher.
Yeah, absolutely. This is as much, you know, it's nice when players look at things and they're just like, man, I really relate that to this thing that's happening in the real world, and you're like, excellent. In the back of your mind, you're going, yes, please, I put that there for you to fucking murder it and hate it as much as I do. And then when the players latch onto it, you're just like, kill it. I want it to die.
Oh, Thomas is gonna get it one day. More options, the powerful we get.
You'll love to see it.
Talk is cheap.
Oh, dang. Yeah, so they had a front. Their villain front was, we want to find the remaining high elves and finish exterminating them, and in doing so, we have aligned ourselves with a god who has offered us power by doing this. Cool. There are lots of fun void dragon connotations that may have been revealed on Monday's stream that have not actually been revealed to that game yet, because they don't know about them yet. They're not drawing the parallels yet, and I know one of them's in chat and is going to be going, motherfucker, because I keep doing this to every game. I'm like, I pepper in hints about what's happening in other games in different ones, and it's so fucking beautiful to see, because this one's the only one that's streamed and the rest of them are in the lore chat. Like, I don't know if you saw in yesterday's game, I dropped in the lore chat that picture. I saw
whatever that little fucked up fish thing was.
I sent that was that's an illithid tadpole. And I also sent the picture of the schism, which I had talked to you briefly about.
That.
Yeah. That elder brain was holding open a portal, and that was what was beyond it.
Oh.
And they were.
Wait, we have elder brains in our setting?
Yeah. And they come from a place called the Schism and the Asmi Empire. Does anybody besides like you know what that means? No. Do my players know they don't like that place anymore? Yes.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah. I mean, they're the most Cthulhu-esque monster I can think of, as illithids and elder brains and that whole thing. Well, hey. I like them for that role because there's great power tiers for facing that sort of enemy.
This is true.
And if they all come from a collective place,
I have a very Cthulhu-esque enemy if you're ever interested in.
Well, if you want to send him my way, I'm sure the Sunday game would just love to have him be a part of my repertoire.
Where's my toe? Hold on.
Oh, amazing. Oh, well, there you go. Anybody who's still in here, Kate, or any of our friends on the Sunday game, hope you enjoy what Nate's about to send me, because I'm going to find a way to put it in. So we did have the eyeball creature rip out a character's eyes too, which was
nice. My players have not seen that yet, but that's what's waiting for them.
Oh, joy. Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yes. That's gonna have to be an elder disciple or a no.
Oh no. Hold on. Show you the stat block.
Oh please. This is just DMs over here having our own private touching ourselves session to this. Oh my god, this is the dude from the one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. So excited.
I'm gonna need this stat block.
I will export it for you.
And you know what's gonna hate you?
You have to promise not to use it on me.
No, that's just gonna make you hate me even more, because I think it's gonna go into campaign 2.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool.
Because there's connotations of what happens in campaign 1 that may encounter this fella in campaign 2. What would be even better is if you encounter him in campaign 2 and he becomes an ally.
I genuinely can't imagine that happening, but that's interesting.
I have some thoughts on what's going to go down in campaign 2 that I love for this. So
interesting.
This is gorgeous. Cool. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that took me forever to make.
So yeah, wrapping up fronts, I guess. The the folks of the Fangdine Ashes, the members of DAM, chased down a cult leader who had been using rituals and sacrifices and tools he did not understand. But he actually had a minor version of Buraz's power and took over a town and basically mind controlled everybody and he got the information he needed from this high elf princess. She was like related to royalty, but she knew where Virdathos was, the hidden high elf city. And so he was like, cool, now that I know where that is, I got the city and we're gonna go. And then by the time the party had like fought his wife, who was actually strangely enough, a drow, and they never interviewed her really enough to find things out. And this drow happened to be a member of the Ebon Hand.
God.
And she was pulling some fuckery in Cyorion, and they murked her. They killed her good and dead.
I feel like the running joke is that just everyone is a member of the Ebon Hand until proven otherwise.
What color are your gloves? What color are your gloves?
Yeah. Hit her with the necklace. Hit her with the necklace.
Just fucking beat her with it. So yeah, she was a member of the Ebon Hand, a fairly low-ranking member who was actually sacrificed early on, unfortunately for her. But she survived, and the Cyorion's where she ended up. And she was trying to pull some shenanigans and curry favor, and ended up getting herself killed because of it. And helping this schmuck who was meddling with ancient rituals he did not understand. But he got his power, and he mind controlled a whole army, and they had just this wonderful little front, and they were marching on up there, and the group stopped him. But that's not to say the Cult of the Fanged Eye is done. That's to say that those fronts were stopped, and they are a minor problem, much like some of the people you've been facing are minor problems, and there are much bigger ones out there.
I like minor problems. Minor problems feel
much more manageable than Time Dragon versus Void Dragon problems.
Yeah.
Those are the problems you look at, you're just like, you need like your bathroom cleaned. Can I help you with that?
Yeah, I can organize your bookshelves. I'm good at that.
Hey. Brindornium has a system and it works for her. Don't try to fuck with it.
Lest I be turned into a shrinky dink yet again.
Seriously. Oh, man. Well, now...
Oh, yeah. It gave me the maw. I'm going to use the maw.
The maw? What?
Do you know about the maw? I will send you the maw. Hold on.
I have a thing called the maw, if you recall, Lorekeeper. So
I do.
That has a lot of weight when you tell me you gave him the maw. That's very concerning.
This is a different maw, but it is very maw-y. I think it was Kaora. Oh god, it's gonna take me forever to find it now in the map assets. Wait, maybe if I just search maw.
So while you're searching for that, we talked a little bit about map assets.
I don't. Damn it.
It's one of those things that none of our other players are here, and we've talked a lot about Eterna. I feel like sneak previewing a very small piece of that map would not go, would not be a terrible thing, because we could sneak peek a piece of the act. I hired an artist to help me with the concept, because unlike the Cyorion map where I was actually able to kind of piece it together myself, I had a very rough idea for Eterna. And I went to somebody who does beautiful maps for like books and stuff, and hired them. And I was like, hey, I've got an idea. And initially they were against the project, but I explained, I'm like, look, I don't know how to put this down really well, but I can give you all the concepts behind it. And they actually came back with this phenomenal map and helped me immensely. But I think to our committed fans who are hanging out with us today, we could sneak preview. You fine folk. We could sneak preview the map of Eterna, because if the Monday game ever ends up back there, they'll get to see the entire thing.
Back there?
Oh no, not back there. No, you guys went to Kosoba. My bad. You haven't been to Eterna. You were hanging out with people from Eterna. So
yeah,
I promise the opaque eggshell colored Russian person in my cup is not stopping me or not helping me here.
That makes sense.
I know. It's okay. It's tongue tied that if anybody ever comes back and watches this like they watch Critical Role, they'll be like, that motherfucker. Well, it's a beautiful thing. There are so many hints laid out all over the place, and like I can't wait to watch
we need
live
our audience member
as
that is
Sarah's
just like
brain.
Marisha.
I can't wait to watch Sarah's brain break live.
Yeah,
like
that'll be fun.
As everything crystallizes for her. Like you had a much more intimate setting where I got to explain it, and you were just like, oh, I get it. I understand it. All my theories were wrong, but I get it. and I see how that works, and I like all these things. So, hexagon is bestagon. Let's not be wrong. So, okay, let's grab a small piece. Let me make sure I'm not like accidentally streaming the entire thing.
So how zoomed in are we going here?
I'm thinking a landmass.
Okay.
Potentially.
Cool.
We're gonna grab this snippet, and we know that dark elves come from Eterna.
We do.
That is information and knowledge that we have. So,
Farallen.
the Farallen, yes, the Farallen. I write so much stuff in my brain. I'm like, yes, those words make sense. And then you guys say them when I type them. And I'm like, okay, I'm clearly an idiot and don't know how to enunciate anything. We're going to call this one clip share. There we go. So there's a piece.
It's so pretty.
It is. The colors ended up beautiful for Eterna. And I absolutely love them, being a place that dark elves are from. Most people think of, Underdark immediately, and the entire Faerun underworldy cavey system that's deep under the planet. And I pushed for those colors because I wanted that same glowy cave vibe. And then there's some weird stuff going on with the coastlines that, by adding that light blue, it really pops that coastline really well. So yeah, I mean, being in full transparency, this is water around the outside of that very light blue. There is ocean there, and that's just that's coastline. Dark elves from the hood. I mean, maybe this is as hood as it gets. I don't know. I don't know what hood is in relation to dark elves. They're from the name. So okay, let's be clear. Dark elves from the hood reveal themselves wearing strange masks inside of walking cities in the fucking desert, and they're just like, yo, I've been totally hiding out here for a long time, but just they
that's pull where off I'm from. Their face like in Mission Impossible, and they're like, hey, it's me.
Yeah.
We're all like, we don't know you.
Oh. I am looking at your maw while
it's a good maw, isn't it?
Let's look at this. I think it's in the background on the stream, so I'm briefly just looking by myself here. So forget
it's the official artwork is done by Kiora Maps. I think the stat block is done by someone, I don't know who. But yeah, it's great if you ever feel like running a pirate campaign, because boy howdy,
that's horrifying.
That's a maw out of 10.
That is a maw. Can you stop sending me CR25 creatures? Who am I going to throw these at?
CR20 characters.
I guess. In a long time, we will send them that. The entirety of this map, I can't wait for somebody to finally go to Eterna and get to see this whole thing. But I'm ready. In the process of being nobody's really ready. There's some shit here, and some moths. We like our moths in Eterna, but yeah, it's a gorgeous map. Was phenomenal to build. Like it's been a long time coming, and I hope it continues to break people. And I can't wait for this to be completely revealed, because it'll be fun to finally be able to point to the universe as a whole and be like, hey, this is how it all works from the beginning, instead of having to be like, okay, what type of characters do you want to play? Because that determines how much I open the fire hose. And like, you're either drinking from the garden hose, or we're going to be like, you're going to have to fucking hold on. You're like that golden retriever in front of the sprinkler. It's just like, as I just crank it up and fully.
Start, hold on.
That's why I told Nate when he volunteered so graciously to become lore keeper. I'm like, you need to set aside at least an hour, probably 2.
And then it took 3.
And just be ready.
Josh!
And there's a random fucking Josh.
He made it.
I told you, Nate, I wasn't going to go spy on him while he was potentially playing games with other friends. And then he's just like, yo, I'm totally playing this game with another friend. And I was just like, dude, do your thing. I'm like fixing cameras, and I was just about to let Nate go on break here, because we've been sitting here chatting for a bit.
Oh, I'm good on break time.
Well, I need to go to the restroom, so
That's cool.
we
Hold
may
down
do.
hold down the fort.
I'm going to full screen this and fix this really fast, and we'll put Nate's camera back up too, because you just totally fucking bullied. See you later, Nat. Have a good one. You totally bullied Nate and took over his spot.
Yeah. It's okay. I wasn't attached to it.
I liked the middle spot. Well, two. Actually, you know what? You didn't fully take over his spot. Suck it. I can save it, Nate.
It's
You can-
two of them now.
Nice, it's two of me. High five me.
If you can figure out how to high five yourself on another camera,
Sure. High five.
yeah,
Easy.
You're both going the wrong direction.
Oh, it's this way. Yeah.
Ah, see, that's
It's
the
to my
problem. Now you're
microphone.
going the wrong direction again.
You just gotta do this.
Yep, you gotta do. Oh no,
there we
no,
go.
it's doing it. Yeah, professional stream, love it. Yeah. So I mean, you just missed it, Josh. We just revealed
Oh, I saw.
the
on the
tiny
stream.
little snippet of the map.
It's
Why
so
are you
cool.
snapping? There we go. If you hold control, things you learn about Twitch, so it stops snapping. Yeah. So we talked about. Oh, we talked about world building in terms of villain fronts and how we approach that, which was super fun. We revealed why Oxy punches babies, thankfully. Stuff we needed to all fucking know. But you know, Nate had some amazingly disturbing monsters, and one of them would be so fun to send to. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to be quick here. Yeah. My bad. I was trying to open it in a new window, and Discord was like, "You mean right on stream?"
No.
My bad. Hopefully nobody was looking directly at it. I closed the window. We're talking to a black screen now because I don't want to risk losing your stat block. So I'm trying to send this to Josh because this is directly important to like what Josh is interested in too.
Uh-oh.
Because Nate was like, "Oh, don't use it on me," and then I was like, "Man, wouldn't this be amazing for campaign 2?" There you go, Josh.
Let's take a look at this.
You can enjoy that. Okay, it looks like nobody was looking at the stream, and you know, like Monster Facts and Higgis, like had to quickly tab back, and I had already saved the day. It was only
Now
up
we
there
just
for.
have to make sure that this isn't recorded.
Fuck, I
or
have to go
like-
delete the VODs.
Or like VOD, yeah.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and delete the VODs today. It was. No.
This thing
That
is
is like-
gross.
Yeah.
Well,
That
we
is
hope
like-
we hope that Monster Facts and Higgis know that my accident should not ruin their gameplay. So do not go stare down the VODs, because all you're gonna look at is a token, and you're gonna be like, "Oh," and you're gonna get spoiled for all Nate's hard work. And
This
you
is
know,
true. Don't do that to yourself.
don't do that to yourself. And that's why like Nate and Josh, even though they know things, have optionally withheld themselves from finding out certain things so they can enjoy the fun reveals.
It's true.
Talk about a lot of health. Jeez.
Pinky promise. Thank you, Higgis. What a nice guy.
Yeah.
We need to do a crossover event one day or a one shot and get all the fun groups together and do some fun battle royale or something. You know what would be
warn you?
amazing with that?
I should warn
Group
you, my
PvP.
Monday night players, they are kitted and leveled appropriately to fight that thing.
we will be like, we will send out a group, like everybody has to be this level. What would be super fun is if we got some of those groups together, and then whoever had advantage, that's the DM that was running it, or just something fun like that. Super cool.
Oh, that's funny.
Royal Rumble.
That'd be a lot of fun.
That would be fun.
Listen, Yednor, Rodney, you know, you might have a boat, but you are literally the lowest level campaign. Stupid pandemic killed it for us. We're trying desperately to catch
We
you
have
guys
a
up.
boat.
I was say I told you about how I've spent the last like 2 years creating a 2nd edition to 5th edition conversion for Spelljammer, unknowingly that they were going to release Spelljammer.
Oh,
right?
good lord.
Yeah, mine's better.
There you go.
Have you read the books yet?
I have not.
They are disappointing.
Oh.
I will
was,
probably pick them up in the event somebody wants to run them, but I have other sci-fi systems that I like better than D&D trying to be sci-fi, frankly.
That is fair.
Yeah,
and
like
that's the
really
thing where I was like-
Starfinder's actually pretty damn good.
Yes,
like really fucking
Starfinder's
good.
great.
Like I love Starfinder for sci-fi. And as an aside to any of our friends in Discord, I have had so many people tease me so far with like, ooh, I would love to, and this is like the South Park Comcast like rubbing their nipples things like, ooh, I would love to play a cyberpunk game with you. It'd be so much fun even if we did it once a month. And then they stop talking to me about it, and I'm just like, I hate you. Like, I will literally play a once a month campaign to get my cyberpunk D&D like TTRPG fix, and there's an entire Cyorion like setup for it, and you get to learn so much cool stuff. So
I want like full on Gundam. I've been itching for something in the space
Lancer.
Gundam style, like Lancer. Yeah.
Man,
My buddy Todd,
I haven't done.
he wanted to
Gundam
DM
system.
he wanted to do a Lancer campaign.
I would love that.
And
I have
he's
no idea how
all
to
about
run
it.
but
I could probably get him to DM it. It'd be super nerdy, and fun.
I would play in something like that because I don't have enough experience in like Gundam style shows. Like I've seen them, but not enough experience like I do in all the other TTRPG spaces. Like I can run, Lovecraftian horror. I can run Appalachian horror. I can run sci-fi, Star Trek, Star Wars. Like this is the list. But then you get to like Power Rangers and Robot Gundam stuff, and I'm just like, I love to play it, but that's not my major fandom, so I don't know it as well. But it just seems like such a cool way to do things.
And Lancer is like pretty in depth on like what you can do for like your actual like space unit thing, Gundam, essentially. So there's like weapons and mods and things you add to your ship, and you buy them over time, and you do that whole like start from nothing and go to super rich dude.
There you go. I dig it.
it's got great art too. One of the guys I follow on Instagram does the art for.
You have to drop a link in the general chat just so I can follow up on it later because I want to check it out.
I can find it.
Sir RPG. Yeah, Master Press. That is the Kickstarter. It's out already, isn't it?
I have it somewhere. Hold on.
Side note, as you guys are pulling that up, Nate, I will tell you that the Sunday group is incredibly behind the idea of getting onto this adventure points system as a way to enhance the imbuement system that I brought up earlier. Like I pitched them the idea on Sunday, and everybody's like, "Yes, let's fucking do it."
Yeah, I remember that was like the thing that made the game that I was in with Curse of Strahd bearable, because otherwise there is nothing to find in that entire module other than money that you can't spend.
Yeah. So for the uninitiated, hey Sam, welcome back from the lab. We're talking world building and TTRPG stuff today. Sam, can we have your permission to repost some of your art that you've been posting up for us today?
Because the temple.
Oh my goodness.
People who have not been monitoring the Discord need to see these things. Just amazing.
Yeah, our Discord is worth it, if only just for the fact that Sam will post like sketches and doodles in there every now and then, and we're all just like, ah!
Boom! Immediately pulled it up. She's like, "Yes, you can. Sure, I'm there right now."
The lighting is so good.
So I'm gonna like resize this to get it on here so we can see the whole thing. Boom. So you leave in Josh, you asshole. Amazing. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Sam, like, yeah, Sam, I really wish all the campaigns were streamed, because then I don't at the same time, because Sam, I feel like your brain would just like break with all the things you could draw. Because I do the same shit on Sunday on the stream game with like the other two games. We have the same type of very descriptive environments, and these guys, like, they play slightly differently. They're not as role-playy in some games, but everybody engages the environment in the same way. I think you would just get to pick our brains apart with all the awesome stuff you could draw. So if you ever want to jump in and just listen on a chat, I would privately play it to you, but not any other people.
I'm still in awe for this whole like scene. It was so cinematic, and like this whole view just like blows it out of proportion to me, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
This feels like one of those things where it's
a
like
few things. Give me 1 second, so you guys can.
This feels like one of those shots where if you eventually published a book of this, this is the picture that goes with that entire temple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
Where it's got like the watercolor like blurring on the edges.
I haven't spoken to Sam about this, but I mean, I'm pretty sure if I ever do get my miraculous life goal of getting to publish a book out there, whatever publisher funding is going to go to art to go in the book, I'm just going to be like, okay, contact whoever you want, but I'm going to only say yes to Sam. And just bring Sam in to draw all the things, because this is all my headcanon now, is literally all my art is in Sam stuff. No, it's gorgeous, like Spackle's hand floating alongside Botch.
Yeah, just holding on.
Just holding Botch.
So
And there's
creepy.
there's Spackle right there, just this big
just-
little, and
Well,
then,
you can see, kind of scroll up a little bit. You can kind of see like an outline of Spackle too.
Can you?
I think that's Spackle's head.
you guys,
like above
right
Doran's shoulder,
here, above
No,
Doran's
on the
shoulder.
stream. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm looking on the stream where it's at. Yeah, it's right there. And then this lighting with the dancing light was just perfect.
Sam's art is actually linked, I think, in our Nightbot thing, isn't it?
If you
art?
Sam's art, yep, is linked in. So Sam's
art.
on Instagram there, and then if you're in Discord with us, if you're hanging out in the Cyorion Discord, you can see all of Sam's art in the Art Share channel. Sam posts everything, and then of course, like the doves scattered everywhere was
I know,
perfect.
that's so great.
I loved them just being scattered about. Because we had this temple idea and we used one of CZ and Peku's maps, which if this stream ever gets to a place, I'm going to contact them and be like, hey, can we partner on a map? And then I'm going to describe them something and get a custom map and let them release it on their Patreon. And I'll be like, I want no money from this. I just want you to make a map for me.
I just want it to be made.
Small peeps.
Yeah, and this was just phenomenal. There's the snake and the rose and the couple doves that were on there, and like I literally gave Sam the math, and I was like, "Here you go, draw it however you want." And Sam made this amazing thing. So let's pull up this other piece too, because this was the original sketch of the two art depictions. So there's a June, which is fucking gorgeous. Like
So cool.
like I love it. That's the
I
Ijun
was
was
tripping at the headdress. That is just
so nice.
details. Just
And like this like almost circular pattern with the armbands and then the discoloration, like for the it almost looks like a silk sleeve on it or something, but there's this perfect like eclipse type balance, which plays heavily into the sun, moon, stars theme that we got in so much other stuff. Like I'm looking for layers where there's probably not any. I'm just like finding more patterns in Sam's shit. Like give me all the things. But yeah, I mean there's our math formula of snakes, roses, and doves, and these people offering up to Ijun, which is just
but I'm lazy.
fucking perfect.
That's fair.
But I'm lazy, but still creates god art. Okay.
Yeah. I'm lazy, but just fucking whips this out like it's nothing. Good lord. Yeah, I feel like if we ever put merch on stuff, we're just gonna be like, Sam, can we use your art? We're gonna give you like 70% of the profits. Like we're just gonna be a front for Sam's art. Like that's all we're gonna do.
We're the second backup store.
Oh, it's all absolutely gorgeous, and yeah, if you're not hanging out in the Discord, that's the place to check it out. Yeah. I mean, it was a good puzzle. Like I loved the way it ended up playing out.
No, it was a terrible puzzle. I mean, stupid math. Get out of here.
It was the greatest because I don't know what prompted the conversation. Oh no, it was because it was late. And I think Magic literally said in the pre-game meeting and like the tech call, it's really late, but it's not like you're going to make me do math or anything. And I'm sitting there with my math formula on the piece of paper going, yeah, okay. Oh my God.
Sam's art Discord with occasional Cyorion content.
Exactly. It's exactly what it fucking is. Like the art, I'm sorry, but if I was a community manager, I'd be sitting there proud of myself being like, man, this art share channel was the greatest thing I ever came up with. Like, and if Monster Effects, are you in the channel as well? Monster Effects, are you still here? because I would love to share your stuff on stream with permission as well. Because it's not just Sam. Sam does stuff directly off of Sunday's game, but we've also got like these fun pieces that these guys do from Hero Forge. Sarah and Magic were just fucking around and came up with Harley Devilson. This
that was so funny.
Yeah, can we share your art on stream too, Monsterfx? Because I loved your pieces that you've been doing too, and I didn't want to share without permission. Nate, your stuff good to go?
My stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, Nate put together this amazing villain art piece.
Oh yeah, that's actually what I'm working on right now. That one's not done.
Still working on it.
Still working on it right now. Yeah, we have.
Then there.
Bad lady.
Bad lady. Monsterfx recently posted this one.
I hate all you talented people.
This is. I think Sam and I had this exact conversation. I was like, this is why I'm hiring artists, because I tried to draw hands when I was a kid and said fuck everything about drawing hands and became a writer instead. So
it's funny, hands are in no way challenging for me, and I feel like it's not fair because everyone else seems to struggle with hands. Just like, I don't know, it just shapes me. I can't do faces. Faces are hard for me, and that's why I work on them the most.
My art is all very, very simplistic, and it's very sketchy. Like, I can't do like lines. Like, I can sketch stuff and eventually get a shape that I want, but when it's like time to draw the line art over something, I've always tried to do it, and it ends up like with me shaky drawing everything really slowly. I've never built confidence in my line art, so I was just like, you know what?
There are a lot of tools that help with that. Like, for example, with Procreate,
I have no time.
Thing.
Nope.
Okay.
No tools, no software.
My headphones are off. Tell the people, because I have no time to commit to this.
Hey, chat. If you're having trouble with shaky line work, check out various different drawing tools like Procreate, where it allows you to stabilize a line with various tools inside each individual brush.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Okay, I saw the finger click. I think we're good. This is the the problem. Oh, you guys got debuted in Nate's campaign. So this is I loved this because I love like staring at art until the detail like pops out more at me, and like on this shield in the sketch it was very prominent, but in the actual colored art piece I looked at this and I'm like, I could run into that shield thinking I'd be shoulder checking it and knocking them over and then get impaled by 6 spikes because I can't see them.
Ironically, that's exactly how the shield works too.
So amazing. You love to hear about that. That's a well-delivered piece of art doing exactly what it was supposed to.
Fun fact, she designed the shield and then I was like, I can make that a thing.
That's so cool.
Also, flail, most ineffective medieval weapon ever. Agree? Yes. Nobody ever fucking used these things really.
That's not true.
They some did, but it was not as immensely popular as cinema makes it out to be.
This is true.
Yeah. But they were devastating because in this fashion, this like I don't want to call it flamberge, this fan bladed mace style where you were combining the benefits of an axe, and the reason axes were so popular because it was so much kinetic energy into such a small thin point. Like, this was incredibly effective, and flanged, yeah. Not flamberged, flanged. Thank you. Sauron did, yes. Again, as popular as they were in things like cinema, exactly where you fucking see Sauron doing it. Okay, yes. Rule of cool, they're fucking sick. Not gonna argue that, but I do love everything about
the short
this
ones. The short ones were almost completely irrelevant and not used anywhere unless you were a knight on horseback and it was way smaller, or if you were what was referred to as a doppelsoldier in German mercenary corps, where they were actually like 8-foot long poles and they had like 5 of those things on the end of them.
Oh, because they could stick them out and just like flail them at the end in a circle fashion. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, they were devastating. They're really cool.
Yeah, that fashion works. The other way, like the only way you can get like that much kinetic energy to be able to hit and remove it from what you hit and keep moving without losing it would be on horseback. And I love it for that, because it is like, it's good facing a sword because the chain is an effective weapon against swords. And it's just really, really neat, but I thought it was very overused. And it's not a foot soldier's weapon. Like a morning star would be more effective, that heavy weighted at the end of a stick with spikes on it. But this whole design is just menacing.
Zero chance of it coming back and smacking you in the face.
Exactly. It's like nunchucks, like used in cinema constantly. And then they're like, yeah, we don't really use those because you fucking beat yourself up with them more often than not. Gorgeous. Thanks, Sam. We will see you again soon, hopefully. We shared that one. Oh, Sam's other sketch. Oh,
that's right.
Oh, this one. The fucking mic drop from Soren.
Oh god, that was so funny. I died.
Like, lost my shit seeing that one. Just like, done. Like, after that session, seeing that sketch come in was fucking brilliant.
That was a very fun.
We've seen some
encounter.
other amazing monster effects sketches, like Mommy.
Which one? Oh god, yeah.
Like,
that one's a commission too.
Was it really fantastic?
Yeah, she does commissions.
Amazing. Like, some just great stuff coming in for monster effects. Like, definitely hang out in the art share channel. Very cool to hang out and see. And then Nate does awesome weapons too.
I do stuff.
And we've stolen Nate's weapons for
We need a
things.
jeweler friend.
Side note, this fucking one, I think this was one of the OG ones that like really kicked it off, but god dang.
With the
That
scimitar?
heart bow,
Oh yeah, I love
the
that.
lyre bow on that, oh my gosh.
The Canorus Concerto, it's called.
It's a fucking queen right here.
So cool.
Fern, step aside.
Whoa.
Okay? Step aside, Fern. The real
Is
queen's
this
here.
under the headpiece? That's so dumb.
That bow is rad.
Yeah.
We just got hot out for the press.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously Sarah's.
Got the
I haven't scrolled back down yet. It says 2 new messages and I haven't scrolled down yet, so I'm waiting to go down and see. All right, here we go. Live on stream, hot off the presses. Ooh, I love the extra spikes. So we're going from this to here.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, I just love that the helmet encompasses the horns and like
Adds 2 more spikes to
Yeah,
it.
that's so
it's just-
cool.
Like, look
It's
at
a
all these
very nice
extra
touch.
spikes on there. And I love the wingtips covering the ears here too. You know, the ears are stuck in one of them slots. It looks like
yeah, very.
really good. Like, this is just amazing. I love it, and it's fantastic.
And she survived her first combat encounter too.
Yay! Not dead. Yay!
Ben, it looks like our Sunday campaign wants a commission for the group portrait.
Oh, is it happening in that players chat? Yeah.
I would be so excited to see where she takes Yakul
Oh my
if
god.
we do that. Yakul is so freaking
I mean,
dope, and I want someone to draw art for him.
You see the frog one?
Sam's in chat here. Hold on. Let's
She.
Nate
Oh,
tried
she's
really
back.
hard.
Yeah.
I did.
so
I could have tried harder.
we could go back with some of our old. I could just pull them up in game here. Hold on. No.
Show you my mini.
Yeah, you can see the mini. I don't want to pull them up in game actually because that would reveal stats, and we don't want to do that. Like, I don't like to share that much information.
Oops.
Is there stuff in lore and information? No.
Reveal the stats.
Oh. Reveal this down.
Mina doesn't give a shit. Okay, Mina, let's go reveal all the masks and the stats.
I mean, you can reveal Yakul and just don't
Oh no,
show
I'm
the
just
katana.
So yeah, actually, you know what? You guys would just see like inventories and stats. Who gives a shit? You guys all know what each other's characters are. Huh? The only reason I obscure at the beginning is because I hate the trope of like we're all an adventuring, unless it's agreed upon. Like, we want to be an adventuring party that came together specifically for adventuring, and then I will do a campaign open of at the mouth of this dungeon because you've all been adventuring. You know, like this is where we're kicking off the campaign because you guys came together. I like no, I'm not revealing the Elderbrain stats. I'm revealing your stats if I do this. Good lord. All right. Hold on.
Settle.
Calm down. So now we get to see behind the scenes a little bit too.
I mean, I'm sure it's just in Elder Brain. You could probably just look up Elder Brain.
You could, like, really. No,
I have everyone's
you don't get the moon
tokens,
drop.
I think, somewhere.
Moon drop spell stats.
No, you're right, Josh. I have those. Hold on. I do have all those tokens stored. I'm an idiot. Thank you. So let me pull up. What's the next game to play?
Come on, Ben. Let him have a moon. Just one little moon to drop on something.
Fucking monster. Trying to get these people mad crazy moon spells. All right, I have my tokens folder, and I should have pulled them up. So,
you remember the DM rule: whatever the players have, so do the enemies.
that is true. But that's true. So let's do some more art share. This is so for Sam. A lot of these people built them in D&D Beyond, or not D&D Beyond, Hero Forge, so you can see them via Hero Forge. But it sounds like literally, Sam, they're having a discussion about commissioning right the fuck now. So I know your commissions are closed, but if you want to receive a message about another commission, you just let me know. I don't know. Shoot, we've been listening to this one for a little bit here, haven't we? Let's switch up to that one.
Oh, they print minis for free? That's cool.
Yeah, a lot of university libraries or even public libraries, they will just let you print 3D stuff for whatever.
Yeah, you do.
The library here for us, like, they're just
That's
like, yeah,
cool.
whatever. Whatever you like.
Well, we'll go into one of my homebrewed monsters. So, just answering from chat, I do take a lot of monsters and I'll change them for certain things. So, like, the Sunday campaign just entered into an Elderbrain's lair, actually built off of a CZ and Peku map because they're so fucking gorgeous when they're animated.
Oh, that's right. They have that one Elder Brain map, huh?
They have the Elderbrain Lair of the Illithids. And just let me import this so this stream can see. This was designed, like, I've been waiting to use this, and they're facing an Elderbrain in this animated map. And they walked into this temple, and they had two mind flayers and a mind witness that they were facing here that were kind of like last guardians of the temple. And at the back of this, we did another one of those animated draw tokens using the Bailey Wiki's animations, like the macros. And I made this purple portal, which they could see the schism beyond the portal, and their boss kind of person that they've been chasing down named Two Tricks is basically standing in the portal and was like, "See ya, bitches," and walked off the portal. And then they were trying to fight through, and then once they killed the last of the things and they were about to face the Elderbrain was like, "Nah, bro," and shut the portal behind him. And they heard something clatter behind the Elderbrain, so now they're facing this upscaled size gargantuan Elderbrain that's 30 feet up in the skull of this gigantic Leviathan in a chamber under the ocean. So it's been a minute. They're dealing with some shit here. But yeah, you're gonna go get that clatter clacky, and it's gonna break your fucking brain. I love it.
Clatter clacky.
Whatever clattered back there, I can't wait for you to go see it. It's just gonna make your face go never mind.
The schism?
Something clattered as they shut the portal from the schism. They don't know what it is yet. And remember, for people who don't play in Cyorion games, you can't use portal magic. Plane shift, teleportation magic does not work here, but these motherfuckers had a portal open to another plane. So there's a lot of bitches breaking the rules right now. And
Question.
Tuning forks.
Question.
Yes.
Since I am on the path of wizardry, does teleport exist?
There's a list of restricted spells
Is there?
on World Anvil. So if I could log into my World Anvil here, 1 second.
D&D Cyorion.
So if we go to Cyorion, there is a restricted. So if you look up restricted 5e spells in Cyorion, you will see this is a list of campaign spells modified in 5th edition. These are in place for the following campaigns. You cannot use teleportation circle, transport via plants, word of recall, teleport, plane shift, or gate. You have to ask me if you can use gate. Yeah, teleport does not lose. So there's an addendum here. It works in the same continent or continent island group. So it works if you know the location, the origin and the destination, obviously wherever you're casting it, and the destination. If you know them both and it's in the Katala Keys. If it's right across the Kamsayat Strait, if it's 2/3 of the way through the desert. So you can use it to advance your movement, but it's very restrictive.
Oh, I see. So, like, for example, we could teleport from, like, Busat to Maidatona.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of what I wanted to get it for, just to, like, ease of travel.
So you could bloop from one place to another in the same region, and there's just a restriction based off of like what you know.
We're going back to Maidatona.
I'm gonna go back and get my goddamn 50 gold.
Yeah, just wait till you get to Busat.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. We'll see if you want to go back to Maidatona after you get to Busat. Me enjoying all that tea. Okay. So anyhoozle, for Sam and for some of our other friends who have not met some of our other campaigns, this is the group of the Midnight Parliament who play in the campaign Maribel's Folly. Or sorry, not Midnight Parliament. Sorry.
Shades of Blue.
Shades of Blue, who play. I looked at Nate and I was like, Midnight Parliament, because Nate's here today. So that means it's Midnight. My day only works on whose face is in front of me. If it's Nate plus Josh, then it's totally Midnight Parliament.
I mean, today is Midnight Parliament Day.
Today's Midnight Parliament Day. Yesterday was Shades of Blue Day. These are the members of the adventuring party Shades of Blue. And why do we have adventuring parties in Cyorion? More world building stuff, because we're here for world building and asking us anything about Cyorion, because we have literally
taxes.
Yeah, it's actually it is taxes, but it's also who's going to pay for all this shit. So all the governments decided a long time ago after Burraz, we want people out working around the world again. How are we going to encourage that? Well, let's set up an adventurers guild, and what that means is you can register with any adventurers guild, and then you're distributed worldwide as a registered adventuring party. You owe a certain percentage of your earnings. So if you're coming back to a town buying a whole bunch of shit and people start reporting that they're seeing you buying a bunch of shit, and then the adventurers guild doesn't have your taxes, they'll cancel your membership. So Midnight Parliament, you might want to think about paying your fucking bills. But you haven't had to
get to a city.
I know you haven't had to use it yet, but essentially what this gives everybody is it's a registered adventuring guild can stay at inns in under their troops' name for a discounted rate. So in a major city, if you walked in and you're like, hey, we're part of the Midnight Parliament. Dogs are going nuts. We're part of the Midnight Parliament and we would like to stay at this tavern. We just came in off the road and we don't have any coin to give you. You can either just pay the coin straight up, or you could be like, we want a discounted rate, and they'll be like, cool, 5 silver will cover it. We'll collect the rest from the guild. And then they'll go to the guild and cover it. Or most major cities have a guild hall for adventurers guilds that's just got barracks, they've got a mess hall, and they got a place for you to rest and recover. So there's good reasons to pay your taxes and be a part of it. You will always have a place to stay in most major cities.
I'm happy to pay taxes.
Yes. So Shades of Blue, I almost said Midnight Parliament again. Shades of Blue. This is Allie. And why are they barking? Because somebody's outside. God damn it.
Bark, 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 bark.
Bork, bork, bork. Actually, I'm going to delete these tokens because I just realized I had some old tokens I want to get rid of. All right, so we've got Allie. Allie is a Tauren druid, which is from Valda's Spire of Secrets. She is a half Minotaur, half human. We have... Here's who the party's named after.
Blue.
Blue's Clues?
No, my first character. I miss him.
There's Blue. Oh, geez. Hold on. I switched the scene on OBS accidentally. There we go. We're back. So that's Blue. And he had to leave the party, so that's why they named it Shades of Blue.
Oh.
Because it was very sad when he left.
I thought it was because they were all shades of blue.
No.
Because we were looking at a blue cow person.
You were. Oh, my God, that would fit too, because here's fucking Yakul, who is also blue.
Who's also blue. I remember that.
It's quite blue, yeah. But also has a lot of swords.
The minis are good, yes, but now we need to get some actual character art, I guess. We have Randaros, who is actually Glenn, who is going to be coming back to the campaign soon. This was his old character, but he's coming with a new one. This is Randaros, who's a Dragonborn artificer.
Oh,
who is
not blue.
working and living in Utancia. However, here's another blue character. I don't know who he got this art from, but this is Matt's character who plays Mr. Pebbles, the Gepetan hexer / witch.
Blue.
He's blue.
Yeah. It's like a Final Fantasy type of character.
We have Magnus as well, who I'm trying to find a token version for because I'm not going to post Grog art.
I have the token if you need it.
I have the top down for some reason. Where is the Magnus front portrait?
Here, hold on.
Yeah, send me that one. So
Are we doing top-down tokens for our new hotness characters?
yes, absolutely. We'll do those. Okay. So Magnus, my brother, he's like, I want to play a Goliath. I want to be like a Viking, and he's gonna be a barbarian. And he had all these ideas, and he's like, well, I don't know what he looks like, so I'm gonna go Google Goliath barbarians. And of course, who's the Goliath barbarian you Google everywhere? He's like, it's this guy with a kilt and no shirt, but instead of nothing, he's got a beard, and he's still bald. And I was like, you made bearded Grog.
So Grog.
You made bearded Grog. He's like, who's Grog? I'm like,
so pure.
I'm like, okay, I love it. And now he plays a path of the fucking muscle wizard. That's it.
Oh yes.
I guess. See ya.
Where the heck is it?
So
I just saw it.
See, man.
here's his top down while he's trying to find. No, that's an old Magnus one. Where the fuck is it? I don't know.
I have it.
I think
Hold on.
Shocking Grasp for the Muscle Wizard
Yeah.
is probably the funniest flavor text I've ever seen.
If you have not seen it, so this is a barbarian. Let's pull up Valda's, and I'm gonna clip just that
great.
art because I don't want to reveal Valda's on stream. Obviously, it's not mine. I don't own it. Valda's Spire of Secrets, phenomenal fucking source book if you haven't seen it. But there is a barbarian subclass called the Path of the Muscle Wizard. And if you have not seen the art, this is not art. Cyorion Chronicles does not own this art. Please check out Valda's Spire of Secrets if you want to know more about the Muscle Wizard. This is from them. And this is the art they use to describe it. It's fucking gorgeous and glorious. That's the Muscle Wizard. This is a barbarian who is rippling fucking muscle strong and has just convinced himself that he knows how to do magic and will do magic through his muscles if you argue with him. He has a feature, literally. If someone questions your legitimate magical prowess, you instantly fly into a rage for a round. This rage cannot be extended, but does not count against your total rages. While in this rage, you can only attack the creature that provoked your ire and that creature's allies. If someone's like, you're not a wizard, he has to fucking rage and assault that person.
Yeah, just what?
How dare you question me? He has other features called cantrips and spells and all of
Shocking
his
Grasp.
Shocking Grasp. The fucking magic missile is the greatest thing. Magic missile. When you take the attack action on your turn, as a bonus action, you can make a ranged attack using a weapon you're holding. Because magic missile never misses you, get advantage on the roll. Literally, you beat something with your weapon and go, magic missile, yeet, and throw your fucking weapon out. I can't wait till he gets to 14th level and learns the spell I Cast Fist.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you seen the old Muscle Wizard comic?
oh my, I have seen pieces of it because I think Chris found it and sent it to me. It was just like, you need to understand where Magnus is coming from now.
Yeah. What ho, Muscle Wizard, cast us a spell.
All right, let's see here. Here is Magnus. So this is on Hero Forge, but we put together Magnus, the Muscle Wizard Barbarian. And I'm pretty sure I gave him a cheeky hat and he doesn't wear it because he's like, fuck that. He's actually got, one of the things he has that's different about him from this is he's got a Markradon horn on his back.
What?
Let's talk about the Markradons.
The hat person. Forgot all about the hat person. What does that mean? What's a hat person?
This is from some old concept art that I had found from Endivity on Twitter and Patreon. And I loved it so much I turned it into a creature in the world. And nobody's run into him yet except for Magnus. Where's the fucking image? Images. Here we go. This is a Markerdon.
Oh, that's right. I remember this thing.
Yeah.
I remember you showing the art for it, and I was just like, holy shit, that's cool.
So these things are about 25 feet tall at the shoulder. Cool. They are massive. And he has a Markerdon horn, which is like about a 7-foot tall horn cut off that's been hollowed out into a drinking horn. Because they were at a fighting pit one night, and Magnus is like, I need a drink fit for me. And the dude's like, I got a Markerdon horn that I just gotta fill with whatever and wheel it out. And he paid his entire sack of gold and kept winning fights to pay for this Markerdon horn, and he eventually bought the horn out the dude. And literally, it was, if you've ever played like Skull Cup or King's Cup or whatever, where they just pour shit into it, the dude's just like, sure, here's a ton of bottles, and he upends them and like opens a keg into this horn, and it's like 4 or 5 gallons of alcohol or liquor at the bottom, and then like another 10 gallons of beer on top.
Jesus.
And fucking Magnus drank the whole thing and survived every goddamn Constitution check I threw at him. And then the next day, some buff orc chick was like, ooh, you sexy daddy, and he ran and hid in the bathroom.
Nice.
Like,
that makes sense.
Classic.
I threw absinthe at my players a little while ago with the DC 30 con save to not like immediately pass out. Barbarian made it his like all-consuming purpose to be like, I will pass this. It was great.
So yeah, that's I think do we oh no, we haven't shown Nat yet, who just left, unfortunately. Oh, there's the Magnus portrait. I just found it too. Damn. So 1 second, because I know I have a token for Neon, and then I need to go find the Mina token, because that's important. So this is our Earth Genasi rogue Neon.
Oh, cool.
She sounds like a Hyundai motorcycle going past. She goes Neon. We
What's
love
the
her
big
for it.
blue thing on her back?
I don't
bow.
Her bow, I think. She
Oh.
like crystallized part of it.
That's cool.
So I don't have a Mina portrait except for her art that she sent me. Who gave us this? This was online somewhere, so I don't like sharing other people's art. Like, I understand people using it for concept and being like, hey, this is art that I used to inspire me, but I don't want to just be like, here's the art that they used, and totally unsell somebody else's stuff and like not represent the artist properly. So I don't have a token for Mina.
Yeah, way to go, Mina.
No, I know it's somewhere. I just can't fucking find it in my disorganized shit. And so I'm not going to blame Mina either. It's all my fault.
Don't blame me. I have the token. Hold on.
Josh has it. You do need a Zero minifig. Zero is awesome, and I revealed parts of him on the last game, on last week's game. So, yeah, and then we have some of our other friends. So while they're pulling that up, we have DeWin, who is a
Carmina, I do have it.
and we have Galreed,
cool.
who's a knight, and then we have Rob's character Ian, who's just a phenomenal fighter, who was a he's a fighter only because he was in the military, and he's literally a chef. Like, he was a chef for the military, but now he's reserved to being a fighter, and he's got the battle chef's buckler from
Nice.
from fucking the Griffin saddlebag, that he can put it onto a pot of water and it'll cook. It'll like boil the water and cook a meal. So he runs around with a pot lid is his shield and a trident, and he's a fighter. Just
Is the
fantastic.
trident just a fork?
I wish it was just a fork, but I think that's why he went trident, is so he could have a fork.
That's really great.
We've got Mytar, our bard, Yendor.
blue.
This is in the live game that's now online, but Yendor, our ranger, who's got his badger pet now. And then of course the most important member of that group, stolen from Reddit, is Puppy, who is their living bag of holding. It's a mimic chest that follows him around with big floppy feet and a tongue.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
So yeah, we got some people there. Josh just sent me the Mina art. There it is. And there is our Farrellyn on our Sunday campaign, Parmina Thane, whose mom just showed up on the Monday stream. So yeah, that's got a lot of players in these campaign worlds, and we love to see them. Yeah, Magnus is like, I see a picture of Magnus on that stream thumbnail. Bitch, maybe you should like get in there and talk about talk about what's going on, because there's some people talking stuff. Mom did not get lost getting milk. No, and I'm not sure how you get milk having what happened to you. Oh, so still AMA also for 3 DMs and some Cyorion world builders. Those people that don't know, who have been hanging out with us, Josh on the far side over there has been the sounding board for all of this madness for like 5 years now, or 4 years. It feels like for fucking ever.
Forever.
where I'm just like, Josh, I've got a bajillion ideas, and then I just randomly start typing things to him, and he's like, you should really kind of contain that into something more digestible and not so insane.
I've never once said that. I just said, whoa.
People should be able to read this, not just have to consume the stream of your consciousness. Yeah, that's the worst ideas. Just opening the fire hose.
Yeah, I have an alarm that's set up that if it's over so many characters, it just starts alarming me not to look.
Yeah, no, don't look until I have time to look at this. That's exactly how I deal with me. And then Nate, who has graciously signed on to be our lore keeper, who got the full dump like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks.
It was like 2 weeks, yeah.
Is it all processed yet? Do you understand everything, or do we got to go over some more stuff again?
I will probably need refreshers, but yeah, I think I've processed most of it. I'm like,
good.
okay.
Here's what you all don't see.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
What you all don't see is Batman beating up a bunch of dudes in an alleyway.
What you all don't see,
Using their blood to write graffiti.
So Rodney says oh so much, and you're just like, well, Rodney doesn't know all the much. Rodney actually heard the original Towelid story when I wrote it 3 years ago. When we were playing at Steven's house one night, and I was like, this is never going anywhere. I'm drunk. Let's read some of Ben's weird headcanon. And I dropped massive lore bombs enough that I looked around the table by the end of it, and they're all just sitting there glazed. I'm like, everybody's drunk. We should go home. Everybody's too drunk to remember all this. And then Kate, who's like, oh, there's so much. There's a lot. Yeah, Kate, you've still only gotten like a part of it. There's the stuff that I revealed to Kate because of who she plays, and then there's so much more. And it's so gorgeous and lovely. We all love it. Is the problem is alcohol induces me to talk to people about like Kate, who's like, hey, I want to know this stuff. Oh, wait, no, shit. That's right. Kate and I just made even more lore that you guys haven't heard yet. Fuck. Okay. Yep.
Damn it.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, it was right after surgery.
All right, stream's over. Everybody go home.
No. You guys don't get to hear that yet, unfortunately for you, because Kate and I worked out a bunch of lore about her mom, which directly ties to Stella Tenuum Ebon Hand shit. So you guys aren't allowed to know it yet because it's stream stuff. So, suckers. God, I love it. I one of these days I'm going to be talking to somebody about it and be like, yeah, and that one time I talked to you, they're going to be like, no, you mean all the shit you just spoiled for me that I've been building up to for 2 years, and then I'll realize that I crossed the stream somehow.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
You never crossed the beams.
Dude, I tried not to. And like Matt is hanging out in chat, I think still, Madoc, who plays like video games with me, and he's wanting to play Cyberpunk game. And he and I have talked a few times about stuff, and We would love to get a game going where he gets playing. He's played in a couple of my like one shots, but this week he was finally just like, yo, can you just fucking like write down your D&D schedule? Because goddamn, I never know when you're busy with D&D shit.
How about Tuesday at like 2:35? Only time slot.
2:35 to 2:38
Yeah, that's about it.
Eastern Australian time.
Seriously, ridiculous. I cast fist. Oh, that is. Yep. I remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I recognize it. Beautiful.
Love it.
Yeah, I am usually like I am balls deep in Dungeons and or Dragons. No, Matt knows I'm busy when he's getting 2-word responses from me. He's like, "Ah, fuck, it's Sunday." Shit.
When it's just a, hey, you want to play games? Why?
Playing games. Go away.
Oh, why soon? Exclamation point. Does that mean why soon or yes, I'm excited to play soon? Oh yeah, that was the fun part of the schedule. It's
Second
like
why.
every Sunday at this time, every Monday at this time, starting on this date, Thursdays every 4 weeks at this time, starting on this date, Fridays every 4 weeks at this time.
Just send him a Calendly. You can book some time.
I should. Yeah, if you want to book some time with me, these are the times that I'm available.
Yep. He does charge.
Not yet. I'm not that big of a hoe yet. Yeah, I literally had to put my D&D schedule into the family like planning calendar where we have all of our kids' sports and stuff. So my wife's like, Ben's available to help transport children on these days. These other days, fuck off. He's busy with D&D. Also, wife appreciation for putting up with all my bullshit D&D storytelling crap. That's why we have the Seshbot, people. Okay.
The Seshbot.
Oh, we do. Yep. We have the Seshbot for all of our scheduling sessions. So you can look at the game schedule channel and see when the next game is. Oh, fun stuff. We revealed our clip of Eterna today. We have Busat sitting there tempting people that they don't get to see yet. Haha, suckers. Talked about villain fronts. What other DMing stuff should we jam? I mean, I think one of the most important things when we're talking about you would have left my ass by now, probably because you have no commitment. She's here for the long haul. I mean, she's having my 5th child. I got to be doing something right. Maybe she's in it for the money, but I know I was broke a long time ago, so that's not the case. I must be doing something.
Didn't start there, but it's ending there.
That's true. Now she's like, "Ooh, I could leave him, but he's got a decent career now."
I do like eating.
Yeah. No, that's the problem. Is if she leaves me, she's gonna take all my shit. I'm gonna be living in a 1-bedroom apartment, and she's gonna be eating rich. Anywho, I think if we're talking story writing and DMing and world building still, number one piece of advice at the end of all this is don't build shit you don't need.
True.
I did send I send you my template for kingdom questions that I found online?
Yes, you did. I fucking love it.
There's a massive 8,600 word list of questions regarding kingdoms.
I am thoroughly preening it so that it is relevant to things that I need, but it's great.
Yeah. Phenomenal list. Definitely worth trimming down to your consumable level, because if you're going to be building out tabletop stuff, you know what? Build out what's relevant. Don't build out a whole bunch of shit that you're going to force yourself to use when what's important is using character-driven moments.
Very true.
Because I could literally walk into any game at any time with 15 minutes of prep and still put out a good game, because all we're doing is improving character-driven moments, which all of these games RP so well that I just have to be like, here's the bullet points for today, and occasionally design an encounter, because I could just be like, story thread, and everybody's like, hum num 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 for 2 hours. And now on Mondays I can be like, here's an actual piece of cotton thread, and you guys will lose your shit for like an hour and a half.
Start to text message. All right, don't touch it.
What could it mean?
Who is this one from?
Yeah, the moondrop spell is fucking hidden. I see it in Discord talked about now. Nate, do not send the moondrop spell to Josh. Josh is going to find a way to weasel it into a game. Actually, Josh, you can have moondrop for one of the protagonists of the fun little scenario you and I discussed. We're not going to overload things now.
I
but
don't know what that means.
Josh
No one does.
Josh had an idea for a phenomenal one shot, and like it's in our back pocket for the next time we need a one shot.
Fun.
Yeah, he's like, can I run this? And I'm just like, that sounds so fucking cool. That eventually one day we'll have a one shot, and Josh will get a chance to run it. It'll probably be an offline thing, but it's hanging out there. What's up, Dragon Craze? I don't know who that is. That's the first time chat with Dragon Craze. We're just hanging out, wrapping up our stream for the day soon. But
Hi there.
So yeah, anything else? AMA, Cyorion style DMing, TTRPGs. We've talked about a lot today and just had fun hanging out. I know tonight's not a game stream. We had Power Morphicon for Zach and David.
So much fun.
We've got
So weird.
Sarah and Magic with traveling and stuff. We had all of our art, which we will do the fucking quick zoom through all of the amazing art inside of our Discord that we're sharing with each other. So definitely hang out in there and see all the cool shit that's being made. But yeah, if anybody wants to, this is your time to shine. You got about 22 minutes for any Cyorion related questions, no matter how fucking off the wall. As long as it's not game breaking, I'll reveal it. Right meow.
Can I become the god of magic?
No.
That god's dead.
No, that god's not dead. That god's alive. But there's some gods that are
there's a
not giving up their
vacancy.
thrones yet. There's not a lot of vacancies yet. Speaking of gods, though,
Can we fix that?
we could. There are exactly
There
are exactly 2 Starbucks in Cyorion.
is
Sorry,
one of them in Busat.
no.
No. Buried in Guare.
We're talking about celestial deer, correct? Starbucks.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. They're all across the schism.
No, they're not next to each other, and no, they're not across the schism.
Yeah, they're kitty corner across the major intersection in Basat. Like
if they were
major
in the schism,
competitive blocks.
If they were in the schism, it would be just like the 2 worst things. Fucking ye old hot topic. God damn it.
Can we have ye old hot topic?
Nope, it already exists. I forgot about it until now.
Oh my god, it's a real thing?
It happened because of the original OG group. Like, they went into a shop and I was like, oh, they sell clothes and this other stuff, and we're talking about what's in there, and someone was like, oh, ye old hot topic. And I was like,
Yeah.
And so I punished them with a 10-minute rant about why it's called ye old hot topic, because of the thorn, which is a lost character in the English language, and thorn, which looked slightly like a Y, was actually pronounced TH, but because of lazy type printers with the printing press, they replaced the TH thorn sound with a just standard Y character. So people were like, oh, it's a Y, so ye. No. That's what you fucking get for bringing up ye old hot topic. It technically used to read the old hot topic, and you fucked it up. God. Rodney. This is why I make spicy drink. God. Angry. Saturday we've got the last session of the stream for Lupus Charity, which was
Cool.
phenomenally successful because people want to fuck with me in TTRPGs that I play in, because literally all the Sunday game players besides Josh came in there and donated a bunch of money to fuck with my character.
That's hilarious.
I had like probably 6 rerolls total, but probably a grand total of like 25 -1s to my rolls.
Yeah, you keep having like all these streams and all these sessions on days where it's like I'm
I'm
doing
fine.
something.
I'm fine. I don't mind them fucking with me because
Oh,
we
yeah, 'cause I was
raised
about to
great
drop some
money for
bombs.
charity. Oh man, you can come in this Saturday if you really want to fuck with me, and you can
I won't be here.
You can pre-donate if you want to. It'll be on the VOD. You can go to the Tiltify
really?
link. You can go to Tiltify and you could go to Tiltify, put my name in the comments, and be like, "Fuck with Rodnan or Ronus." Sorry, not Rodnan. Ronus. Fuck with Ronus on this day.
That's funny.
Yeah. It was great. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time. And actually, the funniest thing was, the thing, I'm going to get to Sam's question in just a second here, but a funny thing that happened last week 2 weeks ago now in that stream is like an orc that had no eyes was granted via charity because they wanted an orc named Donnie, because in our new hotness, God, I got to bring that up too, Nate. What's the new hotness thing? So the one-shot special for the Sunday campaign, Donnie lost her eyes, so somebody donated for Donnie, this half-orc barbarian, to show up, and they showed up in Dax's charity stream.
Fun.
Because of that. Big loaded question, Sam. Josh, I'm gonna task you to make sure I stay contained and don't go out the fucking tangent here.
1/29/2019 was when the official PR channel Project Reagan came out.
So 2 years and almost 8 months ago, or no, 2 years and 7 months ago, almost exactly to the day. So I came to Josh and said I had an idea for a campaign world, because Josh was playing in a game of mine that I was running a module in, and I was testing the waters of online play. I've been DMing since I was about 15. So we're pushing like 20 plus years now. And I was playing online, and I came to Josh in this module. I was like, Josh, I homebrew all my normal shit. This online thing is fun, but I don't think I can do modules anymore. I'm like, I really, really want to write my homebrew into the world. And so he and I kicked around a couple of ideas. Honestly, this thing you're looking at right now, the Ethereal Desert, was the very first thing that occurred in Cyorion. It's because Josh was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we had a big fuck you sized desert? And I was like, that sounds really cool. Let's do that. Let's do a big fuck you sized desert, like the size of the Sahara. And he's like, yeah, like the size of the Sahara. And that's where the Ethereal Desert came from. You love this. Yeah, deserts are gorgeous. Frankly, without getting into a ton of detail, I've always loved to write. But the hard part of saying what caused all this was my father passed away right before COVID, and not of COVID, but right before the pandemic. And then I became quarantined, and I focused just about everything on writing just to cope with like the quarantine, with my father's passing, with my personal battles with emotional health. And a lot of those overarching themes are built into Cyorion. You can ask me this question again, Sam, in like 8 or 9 months when the full scope of the world is revealed. Josh and Nate are privy to some of those things. Nate, not as much as Josh on the intimate, like emotional level, but there are a lot of things written into the world that are direct relation to me coping with mental health and like my struggle with being locked in for quarantine and for my dad's passing. So there's a lot about this world that's built on the premise of finding your way out of isolated depression, which is huge themes. And all 3 of these campaigns that are going right now are each built on a theme, which I think I could easily say without like really ruining everything. You guys in the Monday game know that Imana is based off of directly observing my father passing, and he went because of some issues with his GI tract and some he had like liver failure. So seeing what liver failure does to the human brain and its perception on reality, that's what created Imana, who is a master of gaslighting, of like perceptive and manipulation, manipulating emotions and your understanding of what's going on around you. That's all built around Imana. And so the other 2 campaigns are focused on other things, and they have demigods associated with them that they're dealing with. And the god type creature that they're dealing with in the Friday Thursday game is a god that is of isolation and regret,
Hey.
which is focused around that cult who is inwardly focused and blaming outwardly for reasons why they're isolated, and they feel like these people caused it, so they're lashing out and attacking them, and that's why that isolation and regret, and those are huge themes in that campaign. And then the Sunday game is gluttony and greed, other symptoms of depression, people who overeat, people who have to spend and like buy things because they can't deal with their emotions otherwise. That's a focus of the Sunday game, is the emotions of greed and gluttony. So each of these campaign tracks were built around, after I had kind of designed the world, I built the campaign tracks, and then I was like, cool, Josh, I got these ideas for these campaigns. And he's like, I want to play in these ones. And then I had the live group come up and we started playing in one of them. And then Josh is now obviously involved directly in two of them. And then it was like, I think I came to you like a year ago, Josh. And I like had a really cathartic experience of like writing one night. I sat back and I like pulled everything out, and I was looking at that super, super top level. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I didn't realize that I had written it all about my emotional struggles with a lot of things. And I was like, holy shit, all of these things are about me. And Josh is like, that's why it's so good. And I was like, oh, my fucking heart. Like I was so happy that it was out there, because it was that experience of actually like going and talking to somebody about your problems. I'm like, I've put all these people here, and it was just amazing to see. So that's why, like, every time, Sam, you post a picture and I'm like, I'm ugly crying right now, it's because I am. It's because it's like therapeutic. Like, all of these things are like, and I don't mean to put any negative emotions out there. I hope you realize this is all from a very positive place. I'm in a very healthy place now that I can cope with and understand and speak about these things freely, because I find so much joy in all these things. So that is the long of why this is all put together. And one day when you see it all, and I put the preface in and forward of like a lot of things, there's like a lot of DM notes scattered around the World Anvil page that is like the elves and dealing with the War of the Faceless. They're like the reason we have these elves that are like scattered and broken and eternal is they're a representation for me about the struggle of homeless veterans, because I have friends who've served and I've had family who've served, and like that's a big thing for me. And I've gone to the volunteer positions and served soup and like talked to people like who have been in these situations and are just stuck on the street and they can't cope with that mentally. So like that's a big thing. I'm putting those things in to talk about them and put them at the forefront. And that's why like there's a lot of survivor's guilt around elves and stuff like that, and high elves in the world. So there's a lot going on, ton of stuff going on. And that's why it's so chaotic, and it's like drinking from the fire hose. It's because there's so much fucking shit going on. Nate, we were going to talk about something. Oh, did you DM me when I was going on too long? Oh, oh, Josh. Oh shit. Here.
Oh no, I was just showing some art.
I'm pulling this up in chat.
Oh.
Look at this. Here is the original sketch of like Cyorion when I evolved it to like Cyorion 2.0 back in the day.
Yeah, this is version 0.5.
Yeah, this is like when originally it used to be a large landmass at the bottom, and then this was the drawing of how all the land masses and the currents work together. And this is obviously now
Sarah.
go to Cyorion world map, like
Beta Cyorion, yeah.
now we're here. Yeah, that's like alpha Cyorion. That is very early Cyorion. This is alpha 0.5.
That was MS Paint. Yeah, that's alpha. That's pre-alpha.
This is me after we had gone and talked about a map. Like I showed one to Josh and I was like, this is an original concept. And he's like, and it looked like Nate and I were talking about this. It was like a fucking block. And I was like, okay, there's a square landmass. This makes zero sense. And then this was like, okay, I want to break these up. I want to make islands. I want to make these currents make sense. And this is the sketch that spawned this existing world map.
It looks very good.
It does. This was done by someone on Fiverr. I've got their information somewhere, but a beautiful world map that has gone through multiple iterations to get there. And then we have old stuff like this where you can see. So let's go back here. So if you look down here, this is Lamindor, which used to be called Cyrio, but that was too close to Cyorion, so I changed it. This is the continent of Lemindor, and this is an original sketch of the political map of Lemindor. And all this is still very true today. This is what influenced our world map and all of its kingdoms. So if we go back to here, you can see all these red outlines of all these different groups and where they exist out in the world.
We went through this phase of building like just land masses in different tools and ended up like landing on a few of them.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like learning a couple of them, and then I just like had a full stop. I was like, this is terrible. Switched to a different one, and I was like, this is even worse.
Yeah, we went through paint, like we just sketched it in paint, and then we went to like Incarnate, we went to like Wonder Draft, we went to we kept going to tools trying to find something that worked.
And then the random idea was like, you know what? I'll just pay for something. Give me a link. Let's find an artist. Let's get someone who knows how to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll throw money at it because I'm terrible and not an artist.
That's where I was too. And we had our like beta version of the map, and we were like, here, this is the general idea. Please take your own artistic direction with it. And they did. And then they made some pretty phenomenal like minor changes that didn't really destroy things, but made some like there was, I remember original Galea with that artist was so wrong. Like this upper right continent, we looked at that, I'm like, okay, I've had a campaign playing here for 8 months and all of this is wrong. I need you to change these things. And that was it. Like we went from that to like do whatever you want with the rest of it. And so now we have fun little tidbits from the artist, like Bird Island here that just looks like a big middle finger.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dragahode did not exist previously. They added Dragahode.
You saw that and was like, that looks like a dragon head.
Josh saw it and was like, I want a character to come from there.
Yeah, so the concept to Dragahode came upon like Diggin's creation, and I was like, where could I place Diggin? Like, where in this realm makes sense? And I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll just go around here. And I was like, oh, that kind of looks like a dragon head. So I was like, what's a different name for dragon head? And it's actually
was it like Norwegian in honor
yeah,
of
I think it is Norwegian for Glenn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's Dragahode, which is literally translated to dragon head.
Yep.
That's fun.
And so like this whole island concept came about, and the migration and like escape from the civilization of the halflings and the rabbit folk and all that type of stuff, where the game actually started for us. That whole concept just made sense to have them flee south because of events that happened undisclosed to the stream. But
You have a cartography class, Sam? That's so cool.
That's amazing, Sam.
Oh my god.
that is cool.
I want a cartography class.
I do have I have to watch me be a bad DM and double check my definition just to make sure I understand. Yes, I do have conlangs for Cyorion.
What's a conlang? I don't know what that is.
It is a
we just all Google searched it.
I did to double check to make sure it is a language generated for literature.
Oh.
So that's the definition of a conlang, is a fake language generated for literature. Yes, I do have conlangs for Cyorion.
Oh, he has a fucking boatload of them. And we don't know any of them.
British.
Let's go look at British. I'm gonna switch windows here really quick. Nate, what is the thing I just said I was gonna bring up for you? Fuck.
I don't know.
I was going off my tangent. We said we were gonna talk about it.
I don't know. I actually got to get heading out because I got my own game to prep for. And,
Yeah, 4 minutes until close time.
Yeah.
Closing time.
Ben, do we know if comprehend languages will work with British and all those other
It
weird
will
languages?
not.
Really?
Yeah, it's ancient.
So, it's comprehend languages. It's magic.
It will actually.
Yay!
I know that it will.
False.
You've never
It's
tried
false.
it.
I haven't. It's true. I haven't had time to copy it into my book, nor have I had the money.
Damn
Oh,
it.
wait. Didn't we decide that if you have a scroll, you don't need the money to copy it in?
If you have the scroll, you don't need. I'm trying to remember.
No, I think monetary value is just you have to transcribe it with the actual cost of material.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. I finally got it pulled up. So, sorry, this took me a second.
Let's see.
Mind map. So this is my Obsidian page.
Oh boy, here we go.
This has got some stuff about British, but this is the evolution of British into the modern dialects. So there is a root language of British, and this goes back to studies of like Proto-Germanic languages that eventually became like European English, German, other languages in the region. And how, like, if you say, people are like, oh, I'd go back in time and I'd do such and such. It's like, no, if you went back in time to Shakespearean times and you were speaking those early dialects, you wouldn't understand shit. Like, you wouldn't be able to go back in time and do anything because you'd be talking and people would be like, what the fuck are you going on about? So this is that same kind of concept. British is a root language that was created by elves and dragons, the Amafea specifically, and Lemendor tribes of elves that eventually became the Amafea, created this root language, British. I'm trying to see if you can see like my mouse here. Yep, there we go. So British, yeah. And then that split into Ancient Draconic, Lemendor, Tribal Elven. From there, it was Proto-Udalin, Draconic, Proto-Weismanor, Ancient Elven. And the current elves of the Amafea will speak a version of the Lemendor Tribal Elven dialect. And then moving further, we ended up splitting into 4 different distinct dialects from Draconic. We have the Udalin Slave dialect, which is spoken as Low Draconic. Then Modern Draconic is the Geet Dragonborn dialect that's from the primary continent where Dragonborns lived. And then we have Pure Dragon Tongue, which is Modern Pure Draconic. Then we have High Elven, which is spoken by Gwayer High Elves. Then we have 2 derivatives of that, which is Sharalai Elven, which is Wood Elf. And then the Busat Elven dialect, which is a mixture of Common and Elven dialects. So a lot of these ones here, these 6 languages share a lot of root words. My best description for that is that it's like Russian and Ukrainian. They're neighboring languages, but if you tried to speak Russian to a Ukrainian, they'd be very upset with you because they're like, that's not our language. And it sounds similar. They have some shared, like 20% of the language is shared, but they're so different that you can't speak them to the 2 cultures. So
all right. With that, I gotta head out.
Yeah.
But,
shit, Nate, we didn't remember what we were going to talk about, did we?
I don't know. It'll come to us later.
Fever dream.
Yeah,
I
really.
know. I went off a
Right.
deep end tangent. So Nate, have a wonderful game tonight.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
I'll see Mel there in a sec.
Good luck.
See you guys.
May the odds be in your favor.
Take it easy,
They are
Nate.
not.
I think I got time with Josh here for like maybe 1 or 2 more questions before I call it for the night too, because we're right at the end of our time, and I went on a conlang tangent. So
Yep. Had to ask the right question, huh?
you do. When you ask the right question, you get the long-winded Ben answer, which goes on for fucking ever sometimes.
It's the fire hose.
It is.
Just revolves back into that.
And that was the right question. Like, if you really want to know what Cyorion's all about, there's a whole lot of shit there.
There's a lot that went into like behind the scenes of how things are working, but also like going beyond the scope. It's been in the works for a while.
It has.
So things are thought of. Like there's.
I think that was
it
because
started a long time ago. Yeah.
I think it led back to you and me looking at stuff and being like, well, we don't want to. I think one of Josh and my original conversations was, we don't want anything to be reasoned as wiggle wiggle magic fingers, this is why it is.
Yeah. Or last minute, this is, yeah, sure. It works that way.
Yeah, we never really wanted anything to say, you know, these things exist because I said so. And that was that was pretty much a huge thing for us, was making sure that we included all these things, but they had good reason. And it goes back to that storytelling concept of but therefore, which if you've not looked that up, and if you're a storyteller, but therefore explained by Matt and Trey from South Park is probably one of the best like little videos you can find on the internet. That's how they write all their episodes. They never write anything as a and then such and such happens. They always write it as a but and therefore. So like that original drawing was like, I want a peninsula over here. Cool. This whirlpool exists, and now that that's public knowledge and like everybody knows about it, this is not a map decoration. This is a whirlpool that pushes water outward instead of inward for a reason, and that's why these currents exist in the way that they do. And like all of that was conceptualized early on of like, why do these things shape in this direction? The only thing that's slightly changed, I think, is on the far left side of that picture. We ended up coming back to okay, you can't just be trading from these northern continents down here on the inside. And then we pushed a external, like an exterior counter current around the other side of the world that occurs once you get past the land masses. There's a counter current the other direction. And you know what really pushes all that is when you get people like fucking Magic and Sarah into your game who are both physicists and you have to actually justify shit.
Magic.
Yeah. And it can't be just magic. It's what's the science? How does it fucking work? Mm-hmm. You'll love to see it. Absolutely. It is literally the only thing it's done for us is encourage better story writing, I believe. Oh man. Well, it's been a fun Monday stream.
Yeah, we should do for like the next world building stream is actually go build something out in the world.
Yeah, I thought about
like
doing that today.
Sesh.
Yeah, I thought about doing that today and like building something. And I think if people like these, I think I'm going to start trying to push more for to get our affiliate status so we can be, affiliated on Twitch. We need to be streaming a little bit more. So I'm considering putting in a Wednesday night, like 1 to 2 hour stream of world building where it's actually just me streaming while I'm building something out in the world. And absolutely, yeah. Sam, you've put out so much phenomenal art. You can literally DM me anytime about how to be a dungeon master and like how to turn things into playable worlds, and you've got my full fucking attention.
I'm gonna pre-warn you, if you ask for tools and links and things, you're gonna get a wall of suggestions, and they're all fantastic, but there's a lot to them.
I've hidden my bookmarks bar because my D&D stuff folder is fucking, this is my D&D links folder. And it's a lot. So I will get you stuff if you want to know things about D&D stuff.
No, we can't even see your folder. It didn't actually
it's
open.
not dropping out. Okay, well, we can.
That's good.
It's big. So
I'm going. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
And Josh has seen it. Good. I think I can.
But everything in there is like fantastic for generations of anything.
I figured out how to put it on stream.
Screenshot it.
It's on stream now. There's all my tab. Okay, there's a folder. That's my game time folder. Those are literally all the tabs like I have up for game time when I'm playing with shit. And then I've got all my CC0 media, my generators, my ancient, like my ambient mixes, and then like tons of cheat sheets and shit to like look through. So yeah. You can, I am a fire hose only person. I have one setting, and that is like, you want to talk to me about stuff? We are going to talk about it. Yeah. So if this was kind of I think this Monday stream with people being off was kind of our test drive to see if people were actually interested in hanging out and picking our brains as we talk about stuff. Because Josh and I do a lot of text conversations, and then there's a lot of nights where I'll put on some tunes and just start building stuff. And if people like to see it, then we'll start to build stuff on Wednesdays as a group. Excuse me. But articles and stuff in World Anvil are big. That is a huge component of this that I don't do enough, and that's why we brought Nate on. But like if we go back and look at our World Anvil page, we can see my world here. Come on. How do I edit it now? They changed the site on me, damn it. Dashboard. So usually in here, we can see all of our statistics. So I mean, on World Anvil, I haven't posted up a lot this last 90 days or last year. Damn. I suck at putting stuff on World Anvil. I'm so glad Nate offered to help.
This has been the struggle for me. Is like this is
documenting
stuff
is tough.
I'm not good at either.
So documenting is very hard. So right now, as of today, we have only 1 like on our World Anvil page. So sad. But 156 articles, 64.5 thousand words across 156 articles. So that is everything that's online about this. So yeah, some people like world building, some people like watching actual plays, and if people like world building, then I'll start sitting here and
World Building Wednesdays.
World Building Wednesdays is kind of the target for that.
Make it a thing.
The only unfortunate part is if I'm world building, people might get spoiled, and I'm going to try really, really hard not to. Yeah, it is.
Drink
what it
at
is.
your own risk.
Yeah, enter at your own risk, really. But yeah, this is a great way for us to get started on that. There are a lot of articles on the World Anvil that are really helpful right now, and I would love to see more on there to be even more helpful. You know, just places that people have questions, they can go, oh yeah, but you guys can't see all of these things. Those are all the secrets. I just realized that I've had that tab open. I was like, we'll go back and look at Mina. We won't look at all the the Ashize and Naze plans, because those are nah. Like my world building kind of gets chaotic. You can ask Josh. That's fucking the worst. Like,
Lots of tangents happen.
It's as much as it is drinking from the fire hose for you guys. It's literally just as fast as my mouth can process what the brain is doing, and the brain's usually going way faster, and it's super, super hard to remember shit.
And then once something lands on me, I'm like, ooh, I have a better idea, or we can do it this way, and I'll throw it back at them,
Yep.
and it'll just like pivot.
Yep.
So I'm just as
I mean, that was
as
the
a culprit
worst.
there.
That was the worst part. Is like literally sitting on the potty one day talking to Josh about some random D&D crap, and he was like, hey, this would be super cool. I'm like, ooh, that's really cool. What if we did this too? And he was like, ooh, that's really cool. Then what if we did this too? And I was like, fuck, here's all of campaign 2. And I literally dumped everything. Okay, in more ways than one, yes. I just realized I made a really terrible poop pun, but I literally wrote the major plot points of campaign 2 while Josh and I were back and forth going on tangents. Campaign 2 for our Monday stream. So
Yeah, if Discord ever goes down and our chat history is not saved, whew, there's a lot of content mixed in there.
I keep thinking about going through and finding a way to back up Discord, but each time I've Googled it, and there's not a lot of information. Yes, it would be much like our campaign, like our backstory, this like brainstorm that we had for Mina, which has in turn added more tangents that I've gone down independently. You saw the result of one last Monday stream when I was like, hey, here's Mina's mom. And just fucking turned off my camera on you and like left you with that fucking cliffhanger. Yeah, that type of shit happens all the time. And also, none of y'all even know, and none of y'all have even seen, besides Josh right here, Sam's character in Cyorion. Sam has designed and given me character art for a character that I've been sitting on, and Josh is the only person who's been allowed to see it because I had to tell. Josh is also the recipient of the I have to fucking tell somebody this or I'm going to explode.
The one that can keep a secret.
Yep. Josh has kept a secret
Comes
for
to
so
me.
long.
But holy crap, I'm just so excited for that moment, Sam. It's gonna be so epic.
Sam's character is gonna be so good. I love it.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah. Too fucking good. Hey, you've got some of the secrets. There are a few people who on the Discord are in the secret club because they know about things and they are good at keeping secrets, but Josh has been keeping secrets for years, actual years, and you are not allowed to see. I'm sorry. You can't see yet. Nope. Some people are not allowed to see those yet. You'll see it on the stream with everybody else when Sam's character gets revealed. Great character too. Really fucking fun. A lot of fun with that character. All right, you got 4 minutes. I'm gonna end the stream in 4 minutes. If you got any final Cyorion questions you want to throw my direction, ask me about whatever random shit. I should say Cyorion and Eterna, since most games know about Eterna now. You know, there's a lot of interesting stuff out there. I think one of my favorite systems we've got is the way that the deities in the pantheon were designed. I set up 3 tiers of gods, basically. There's the council, who is the top tier, and there's only a set number of them. And then there's the major gods at one level, and then there's the minor deities / demigods, like people who have risen to godhood, people who were the offspring of God and people. And they all answer to mortal names in different fashions because of God, Duck versus Rabbit comic. Because of this comic right here. It says, there can be no peace until they renounce their rabbit god and accept our duck god. The whole fucking point of gods in the world is that multiple groups can be worshiping the same person, and they worship them with different names and they just don't know it. And that was the whole purpose, is like gods represent an ideal, a set of pantheon ideas, some concepts, and the DMs on the back end have a true name for that god, and then they can have a whole bunch of different things associated with that god, and then they have different gods associated. So like the Veil Mother is a goddess of twilight and deception and trickery that a lot of clerics follow if they're in the trickery domain. The Veil Mother may also be related to some other bad groups as people. You don't know. You have no fucking clue who worships them.
If Jaeger dies, hopefully he doesn't. My next character is going to be someone who follows someone very specific. And it's going to be probably the most like cleric type of person I could cleric.
The most cleric that ever cleric. Yeah, we have a bunch of them.
Because we don't have anything on the religion side. There hasn't been anything dropped for us because no one plays it.
Not in your game. Nope.
I'm gonna have to go like full blown. I don't even know.
The Veil Mother was somebody that Rochelle and I cooked up because my wife played a trickery domain rabbit folk cleric, and so she and I came up with the concept of the Veil Mother. And then you've got Paraket. Shit, her name's written down over there. I'm not gonna pick it up, but Botrin's God of Dreams that he just started. He just fucking
freaking out of nowhere. Awesome.
I told Josh about that concept like weeks ago. I was like, I think this is a really cool idea, because I had seen some like YouTube video or TikTok, and I was like, this is a really neat concept. I think maybe I'll put this in the game somewhere. Maybe I'll leave like a breadcrumb trail for Botrin. And then Botrin gets that first breadcrumb and he's like, I'm going to tattoo that on my body. And I'm like, okay, this is where we're going.
He's a catalog. One of these days, I'm just going to study all of the events.
Amazing.
It's going to be funny.
All
cool.
Right.
Great session.
Yeah, it's 45 after. No more CRN questions. Thanks for sticking around for world building. We will start doing some actual focus, like 1 or 2 hour streams on Wednesdays for world building in the evening. So if you have an idea, oh, son of a bitch. I gave a good one on Monday too. She's so lazy and just like lays about her throne of pillows. And I loved her so much in my head because she's a thick queen just chilling on her throne of pillows and comfort. No. And like leans over and is like, Botrin, what are you doing here? And I'm just like, oh God.
We have the VOD.
We do. Yeah, fucking. I'm gonna have to send Sam a description of this queen here, because she's a goddess in my mind. Just like chilling with a fucking bag of chips watching Netflix on a Sunday is like the embodiment of this goddess of dreams, guardian of the dreamscape. Fucking damn it, Sam. You're breaking my heart every time. Just with joy. It's overfilling with joy and breaking. That's why it's breaking.
Goals.
True. Exactly. Yeah, so we'll do drop times. Like if there's a time at night that this would work to like watch, this may be an evening stream after the kids go to bed or something. But if you guys have a time in the evening that works best for watching something like world building for 1 or 2 hours, please drop it in the chat so I can build the schedule around it. And I'll try to get something going here in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be out of town for a few weeks at the end of September, so I don't want to like commit hard and like be like, hey, we're here for 2 weeks and then I'm out for 3, so see you later, fuckers. But we'll get something going here probably at the towards the beginning of October. We'll get something going in earnest. So if you've got an idea on what time at night on Wednesdays is good to watch world building, put it in the chat, please. But we're heading out. It's been a fantastic 3.5 hours of streaming world building and D&D questions and Cyorion questions. You guys are all amazing. Check us out in Discord. And if you've not hanged out already for long enough, I guess we're going to catchphrase it. Is it Monday yet? Because I want to play again. It's not Monday yet. So, all right.
I wonder if that's actually like copywritten.
I mean, it's not Thursday.
You can't pick.
We're saying
you can't
Monday.
pick a day.
You can't pick a day and say, is it this day yet? Okay, is it 7 days from now yet? So see you later. All right, have a good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.